time for high school football on Beaver County Radio, a WBVP tradition for over 76 years. Tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by eXp Realty, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Keystone Wellness Programs, Fry Transportation, Forward RX, Electric Garage Door Sales, the YMCA, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, LGKG, St. Barnabas, Gnu's Body Works, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Hallowed Grounds, J. Young Refuse, Zuki Sports Tavern, the Rochester Hotel, Henderson Insurance, D&G Rentals, S.E. Snyder Insurance, and Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP. Now let's head out to the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth for coverage of tonight's game.
Live from Pat Tonquinio Field tonight, Beaver, they host Avonworth. What a matchup, 7-2. Beaver will play 7-2 Avonworth. Avonworth is undefeated in the conference. Beaver has just one loss. They lost to Central Valley a few weeks ago here on Beaver County Radio. Central Valley fell to Avonworth, and now tonight, if Beaver can come away with the victory, they share the Western Hills Conference title with Avonworth and Central Valley. If Avonworth can win, they win it all outright. And on the video, if you are watching on Facebook and on YouTube, it is not a booming metropolis out in the distance. It's just a shell cracker facility.
On the 24-hour outage as they shut down a reactor every few months, and all the workers do what they got to do. But our second time here this year, and it's a beautiful night to be under the tent up on the top of the press box, and couldn't think of more finer people to be working with than the
I
Beaver County
appreciate
radio
you
crew.
at least saying that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're the best play-by-play guy in Beaver County
Is that
tonight.
right? Tonight. Maybe not.
Well,
there are some other people who are here.
Other here.
I may be the second or third best in all of Beaver County.
I don't know about that. You're
tonight.
Highly thought of.
Well, thank you very much. Tonight's game, though, absolutely huge for both of these teams.
Yep.
Avonworth now, people may not realize they are so quietly great that up to last week, before Aliquippa's loss, they had the longest winning streak in any conference play at the time, going all the way back to 20. But now Avonworth is now the holder of the longest winning streak in conference play. They've won 18 in a row, going all the way back to 21.
They've been a program that when Duke John Cowher took over, they were, a playoff type team, and good year, bad year, and then he's taken over and he's really built this program. And game in, game out, whatever conference they're in, whatever classification they're in, they tend to be one of the top 4 or 5 teams. And if they win tonight, Avonworth, they likely could probably, I see Amania being the number 1 seed, but I could see Avonworth being the number 2 seed. Now, if Beaver wins, oh boy, then it's going to be a 3-way tie, and then things get a little jumbly. But this Avonworth program, they're not really flashy, but some people may overlook them, but they are solid in every facet of the game.
And they have been historically, they've been to the playoffs 15 of 16 years. The only year they've not made it within that stretch was the COVID year of 20. They consistently play well. The last 2 seasons, making it to the WPIAL championship game, losing to Bell Vernon, who went on both of those years to win the state championship.
It's really hard when it's like when you're in 4A facing Aliquippa, when they have great teams. There's always going to be a very, very good team that maybe in some other years could win a title, and Avonworth has kind of taken that. The thing about them is they don't have any real superstars. They have consistency at running back, consistency at receiver, consistency on the line. They have a lot of good players as a whole, and they are a true team, and they beat you up physically, and that's the kind of team they've always been under Duke John Cowher. So you don't see a lot of 45-0 games. You see a lot of low-scoring defensive games. They pride themselves on defense, holding onto the ball, and keeping long drives going and stopping you from doing well. That's their game.
Yeah, they don't have that superstar like Beaver has an Amari Jackson who's going to go play at Villanova, Mayo who's going to go play at Bucknell. But they have 5 guys at running back that either at running back or tight end or some H-back position that have had an excess of 25 carries. So even though they can only play 1 or 2 of them at a time, basically, they still are so multifaceted. They can always bring somebody fresh in to just pound the rock and wear teams
You're
down.
starting to see that more and more now, whereas 20 years ago, there was that one back that was 1,500 to 1,800 yards. You get the one guy and one receiver or the quarterback. Now, a lot of teams are going to 2 and 3 backs because they realize it's better to have 3 guys carrying it 15 times and keep guys fresh. So that is changing over the years, and Duke Johncower and his staff have really realized that. And when you come up in their organization, you realize if you're going to play, you better play as a team member or you're not going to play.
You are listening to the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. Let's go down to our third member of the broadcast team, Tank Latham, with the first eXp Realty Sideline Report. And Tank, you had a chance to speak to Coach John Cord just a few moments ago.
Yes, I did, and just like you guys were talking about up there, watching pregame down there, it was like Legos. Like and you couldn't tell the difference between who was a starter and who wasn't. They were getting a lot of works going in there. I asked him what the focus on this week was. It was basically focus on stopping the big play, making sure that doesn't happen. I also asked him if this is a major game, like a playoff game for them. He said, no, this is just business. We need to make sure we take care of our own business. This is just for seeding. This is just like a good program is. He's just focusing on day-to-day tasks and make sure they do the job.
Tank, thank you very much. It's interesting that when you take this day-to-day approach, because Coach Rouse takes the same approach too. You just take care of the game. You win the game, good things will happen to you. But at the same time, you don't want a little bit of a letdown in this game. You have the opportunity to win the conference title outright and just clearly set yourself apart and make a pretty compelling argument for why you should be at least a 2 seed, if not the number 1 seed going into the playoffs. But if you lose this game and you lose it by at least 6 points, all of a sudden you fall further down in the brackets.
So that's what's going to happen here. If Avonworth loses, then it's up to the WPL committee because there is no tiebreak. Because then Central Valley, themselves, Avonworth, and Beaver would all be tied for the conference. And then they're going to start looking at non-conference games. Who has the tougher schedule? Well, by far. I don't think anybody in the WPL can argue Central Valley by far has the best non-conference schedule and held it close with 3 powerful teams early, and they're playing North Hills tonight. So some may say they should get a higher seat, and others will say Beaver because they beat Avonworth. But then Avonworth beat Central Valley. So they'll probably be centered along the 3 through 6. But, either way, you got to win now and worry about the playoffs later. And then once you get to the playoffs, it's week to week. And if you play a tough team, you're going to play tough teams no matter what. And
I think there's an argument that if Avonworth wins tonight, and they win pretty decently, they can be a legitimate number 1 seed because their only 2 losses are to Thomas Jefferson, who's undefeated in 4A in their conference, and they lost to Aliquippa. And it was a pretty close game in the first half, and then ultimately Aliquippa ran away with it. I was talking to Coach about it, and he said we made a lot of mistakes on our own end.
Yeah.
But if you're going to lose to somebody and you lose to the state champion and who could be playing for the state championship this year, you make a really good argument. Teams that will be at
you make a really good argument.
At the 4A championship
I think some people will think it's Amani because they score so much and they beat up a Beaver. They beat up so many good teams. I think a lot of people think it's going to be them, but you make a good argument that the Avonworth Antelopes, if they win tonight, I think at the very least a number 2, maybe a number 1. You make good points.
All right, coming up in just a couple of moments, we will take a look at this Beaver squad that many people are projecting are going to win this game. Saw a story in the Post-Gazette. They seem to think that they're going to win. Beaver County Times, their assessment of this weekend has more of those guys choosing Beaver. What is it about this team that makes them just so competitive and so good? And if they didn't have injuries, could they be clearly in the catbird seat to win this conference? We'll talk about that coming up next on the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show on Beaver County Radio.
Get ready to kick off your game day with everything you'll need for tailgate parties from Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton. Party trays, snacks, beverages. If you're looking for food ideas to make your tailgate party unforgettable, Fisher's has it all. Fisher's Foodland is a complete independently owned and operated grocery store focused on your daily needs for the whole family. Remember, football season is a great reason to visit Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton.
Can you afford to put off repairs or replacement of your roof? This is Diane Ireland of Ireland Contracting. With interest rates going up, take advantage of our 12 months same as cash or financing up to 10 years. Add that skylight, change the siding, or update the windows. My husband Gary and I are so confident of our expert craftsmanship that we put the family name on our business. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOF or visit IrelandContracting.com. Ireland Contracting, we got you covered.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win or at least a winning smile by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
You know, I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
I'm Tiani, and I'm equipped.
Hi, I'm John, I'm a Bobcat.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm a warrior.
I'm David, and I'm a warrior.
Hi, I'm Dominique, and I'm equipped.
This is Daniel from Hopewell, a proud Viking. Well, it's true that when it's game time, we might be on different sides. It's the other team that we are all part of, a team that will make a real difference once the season is over. That's because we are all training for a very long and profitable postseason at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating top-notch performers from all local Beaver County high schools. Our spirited recruits have made the starting lineup and performed like all-stars in many different fields.
Why not join our team? Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
You're listening to 2024 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio from the McGee Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by eXp Realty, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Keystone Wellness, Pride Transportation Group LLC, Forward RX, Electric Garage Door Sales, the YMCA, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Tri-State McDonald's, I'm loving it, and Beaver County Radio.
Welcome back to the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. The Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show continues. Let's talk about Beaver. This Beaver program, as great as they are and they have been in making their playoff runs, they've had somebody that's had their number for the past two seasons. Beaver has gone 0-4 against Avonworth last year and the year before in the regular season, and they've been beat twice in postseason. This is finally a way to make a statement that we are going to win this and we're going to put in that chapter behind us.
Isn't it amazing? 2 weeks in a row we have this kind of situation. Montour had been unable to even come close to Aliquippa. A little different here. Beaver actually in the last 4 games was competitive. Last year was within a play each game, you could argue, of winning against Avonworth and having a top seed and maybe being a team that could make it to Acrisure. This year coming in, Court Rouse told me that with all the kids got back on the line, with the skilled players, we think this could be our year. And other than the blip against Central Valley and, another non-conference game, this is the game they've circled from the beginning of the year. We've circled it from early in the year. Mm-hmm. And this is a big, big game for Beaver. It's probably a bigger game for Beaver than it is Avonworth.
It is. I think you're right about that because Beaver hasn't won a conference title since before many of these kids were alive. Their birth year for many of the seniors back in 2007 was the last time they won. And they are led by a couple of key players that they really need to show up in this game. One of them is somebody that we were just blown away by when they played Central Valley. It's Amari Jackson. The way he's able to perform is just remarkable. Last week he got 3 touchdowns. He is just an absolute skill player. You can put him in anywhere you want to. Wide receiver, running back, wildcat, quarterback. He does it all and has no problem with doing it.
He stepped in at wildcat in the Central Valley game, and he just blew everyone away with his talent. More talented than we thought he was. And Action Jackson got the job done. When they had an injury to the quarterback and the other star player, Brady Mayo, he did it all. And, they're within a couple of plays early in that game of beating Central Valley. When you think about it, they were the better team from second quarter on. So, in reality, a lot of people feel that game against Central Valley was a blip, but they had their quarterback in clear, and they had Mayo, who both went out in the first quarter. A lot of people thought they could have won that game.
And speaking of Mayo, he is going to be back tonight. There were many people who thought he was out for the season. I remember when we were talking about his elbow injury, you were concerned about him being able to get healthy enough to get back for basketball season, and now he's coming back, and it's expected he's going to play meaningful reps on both sides of the ball.
He's got a brace on the elbow. I was told prior to the game by a couple assistant coaches it was just a dislocation and not a break. If it was a break, then you got a longer healing process. But a dislocation, and no torn ligaments, then you just heal and get over the soreness, do some rehab, and he's back. He's missed some significant games, but that is big because he's talented at the wide receiver spot. He's talented at coming on the end arounds. He's talented as a safety. He's a senior, he's a leader, and he's a great guy to have from now into the playoffs. So that's the important time. That is a big addition, having him back.
The third guy that isn't getting looks yet and hasn't been given an offer at the next level, but he's playing so well, you got to believe it's just a matter of time. And it's Quaylen Kane at running back.
Yes.
He has been fantastic running the ball. Great article this week in the Times, timesonline.com, about him and how Coach thinks he's a throwback. He just wants to work. Forget about social media. Forget about me. Coach, where do you need me for us to be able to win? If it means playing more defense and less offense, where he doesn't get the reps and the yards, it's okay, because all that matters to this kid is get this team a win.
You know what? I talked to him last year. We had him on the coach's corner. A quiet kid, a confident kid. You're right. He is the kind of kid that actually the last 2 years we talked to him, and he is a good kid. He's a good teammate, and he was powerful as a sophomore, coming in a little bit here and there, came into his own a lot last year. And you're right. I think if you feature him and him alone, he's probably got a way more yards. But with talented guys like Jackson and others, Mayo and others around him, he's happy to be a part of a team. And that's how you win. You become a part of a team and don't be selfish. And credit to him for kind of stepping back a little bit when he's had to.
All right, let's go down to the sideline. eXp Realty Sideline Report number 2 with our own Tank Latham. Tank, you had a chance to talk to Coach Rouse. What did he tell you before the game?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Rouse, and I basically asked him what was his focus this week, and he basically said staying mentally focused. Basically, a lot like his counterpart, Coach John Carr, he said, basically do our job one day at a time, almost like they heard each other say. It's like you said, these are very similar programs, but it's more importantly what he didn't say, because I see the way that he kind of having the offensive alignment, he was really firing them up. It looks like they're going to really try to power this game with the running game.
All right, thank you very much. Not only can they run the ball, but they can throw the ball as well. Their starting quarterback has been fantastic. Travis Clear completing 61% of his passes and 2-to-1 margin, touchdowns to interceptions. They can throw the ball. Not as well as they can run it, but they can throw it very effectively. I love this quote from Rouse. How about this? And speaking of Quaylen Kane, one last comment on Kane. I think that the way he works is indicative of how he works.
Exactly. That's very good. I like that a lot. That's a very, very, very good point, and it describes the kid perfectly. And quickly about throwing, Travis Clear in that Central Valley game sprained his thumb, and by halftime his thumb was swollen up 3 times that what it should be, and he couldn't grip a ball, and that's why he couldn't be the QB, and Jackson was mainly out of the Wildcat. But he's back and can throw the ball better, so that gives them another option besides running the ball. And being a cool, clear night. I see the ball being thrown tonight a little bit. I can see a big difference in this game. Could be the factor of the quarterbacks, which I think Beaver clearly has the better quarterback.
And coming up in just a moment, we will be taking a look at early projections for the potential CCBC Player of the Year coming from both teams who are pregame candidates, if you will. We're also going to take a look at some games happening throughout the Beaver Valley on the Fry Transportation Update Desk, and there are already scores out there to report. It's coming up next on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County home inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team. Results that move you.
There's exciting news. A new pharmacy in New Brighton just opened, Forward RX. It's an independent community pharmacy that fills prescriptions at transparent cost-plus pricing on many generic medications. No insurance or discount coupons needed. Brandon Anthonopoulos will discuss your needs and how Forward RX can help you save money. The pharmacy experience you deserve is more affordable than you think. Become a Forward member today. Stop in 809 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check their prices at fwdrx.com.
When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it's hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season from your friends at Fry Transportation.
Getting into the lineup and making the team is easy at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Training camp is starting and you are invited. This is Coach Andy Dengel and I'm looking for new teammates. Membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union today. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Make your dream of a college degree a reality at Community College of Beaver County. CCBC offers 10 pathways to success, including health sciences, criminal justice, industrial technology, business, and more. Start at CCBC and finish your career or get transfer ready, all at a realistic cost. Enroll today, ccbc.edu.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearm store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
The Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show continues, and it's time to take a look at some pregame candidates for the CCBC Player of the Game. And Tank, how about if we bring you on for this? We'll start you off first. Who would you say would be the front runners? Give me one or two players from each team that you'll be watching for tonight.
Definitely number 2, Amari Jackson. I mean, he was our CCBC Player of the Game last time we were here. I'm currently trying to recruit him to become a state agent for the Lisa Latham team. He seems like a really awesome young man. Then just by watching the coach and how he was talking to the offensive line, I think the running backs for Beaver, they're going to have a really good game. So I'm looking at Kane and Lutton to have big nights tonight for them.
All right, very good. Now, how about the Avonworth side?
With Avonworth side, what I was watching down here, their quarterback, Carson Bellinger, he was looking very sharp. And then, once again, the running back, Jason Krull, was impressing me with the pregame workout. And then I always watch the offensive linemen. They got a huge tackle. They have him on here as a guard, but Harrison McPhee, number 78, he looks like he can move some people.
Yeah, Harrison McPhee is a big guy. Pete Bonnet is another one. He, according to Coach, he's getting some D1 and D2 looks. 6'5", 280 as a junior on the offensive line.
That's
Mike,
big.
who do you like?
Well, you know, for Avonworth, I think that they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit to win this game. So I'm looking at someone like Luca Neal, one of their receivers, to pop up. He's one of a few. I think I like Dimitri Velaceris. He's a smaller back, and they might need somebody quick to score a touchdown against Beaver. So those are my two for Avonworth, Neal and Velaceris. And for Beaver, I really, really like Brady Mayo. He's been out for a while. He's a gamer. We saw what he can do when you give him the ball in other situations. He takes some of the heat off of Jackson. And remember, last time we were here, we had a toss-up between Jackson and Mayo. And I think this is a night that Mayo could shine. All right, I like Amari Jackson as well. Now that Brady Mayo is back and he's able to go on the other side of the formation and give Amari more and more one-on-one coverage opportunities he has to face, I think it's even bigger of an opportunity for him to have a bigger night. I think Quaylen Kane is clearly a front runner as well. What he does on offense is just absolutely fantastic. Yep. Dimitri Velaceris, I like him as an option too. He leads the team for Avonworth in rushing. And I also like the Metz brothers. There's Mason Metz, who performed exceedingly well for them in recent games at the running back position. I think it's going to be more of a ground game for Avonworth tonight as compared to the potential for putting the ball up in the air, because I think the wind's going to be a factor. Yes. And as we're watching it right now, there is a very strong right to left wind that is in place, where it's going to make it more difficult for these guys to throw toward the right. And then it's also going to make it more difficult for the kicking game, because we also have an amazing kicker here at Beaver that's playing tonight too. Yeah, the young man, the freshman, oh boy. Tykowski, yeah. I talked to him a little bit when he was on the field. He was kicking 30-yarders with ease. He moved back. He told me he's kicked 50 in practice, but not in the game. So I got to figure if the game's on the line, they could try something between 25 and 35 for him, maybe a little further. I think if they're ultimately kicking from our right to left, yes, he may be able to go 40-45 because the wind is just that strong here tonight, and I'm hoping that Keith will be able to give us a view of the flags that are blowing as he's currently catching a shot of the coin toss and the decision that's going to be made by the players. The way that it's working out, it looks as though Avonworth won the toss. They have deferred. Beaver is going to receive, and they are going to start going left to right. Very smart move, because come the fourth quarter, they will be kicking with the wind to their back. And that's really going to be a big thing. And I know we don't have a ton of time, so briefly we'll just say, if you don't mind, right now we have teams that are going to be in the playoffs for sure. Aliquippa, West Allegheny, Beaver, Elwood City, Western Beaver, Southside, Cornell, and Central Valley will all be in the playoffs. Teams that if they win and in, or should be in, would be Moon, Blackhawk with a chance, Hopewell win and should get in, Osh win and possible, New Brighton win and possible, Riverside wins, they should be in, Rochester wins, they are definitely in. So only 4 teams, Ambridge, QV, Beaver Falls, and Freedom, completely out of it into the last week of the season. That's a pretty good year for Beaver County. And the Fishers New Brighton Foodland pregame show has come to an end, and it's now time for the kickoff. It is away and taken by one of the upmen at the 22, out to the 30-yard line, spun down and taken down right there at the 30. Beaver takes possession at the 30-yard line on the near hash mark. For those of you who are listening, don't forget you can watch this entire game if you are on Facebook or you are on YouTube. Just search Beaver County Radio. Micah Poopy, who brought that back, and Beaver has the ball first here in the first quarter. Travis Clear at quarterback. He will be in the shotgun formation. Quaylen Kane will be in the backfield with him. 2 wide receivers set to his left side, Amari Jackson and Brady Mayo
Twin sets. Amari Jackson on the wide side takes it, hands it off. Quaylen up over that left side. Big room there out to the 36-yard line. Pickup of 6 on that off tackle play.
Off the right side or left side, got a block, and if it wasn't for an ankle tackle, he gets a first down easy probably. It just seemed like the linebackers are a little further back than they should be, and he got an easy 6 yards.
2nd and 4. Shotgun formation with Quaylen Kane on his left hip. Wide receivers are split 1-1 on either side. Ball right in the middle of the field at the 36-yard line. Snap, play action, slant pattern to Brady Mayo. Caught it out to the 41, first down for the Bobcats.
Hey, remember last week, that's what Montour did, slant, slant, slant. Now, Avonworth's linebackers are playing up for the run, so he didn't have a lot of room, and Claire had to make a quick pass and a quick decision because they converged quickly, and any hesitation, that could have been an interception.
How about last week? Travis Clear, only 2 for 2. 108 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Some weeks you're going to throw a lot, some weeks you're not.
Handoff, Amari Jackson on a sweep out to about the 44-yard line. Pickup of 3 on that play on the near side.
Yeah, he came by. He saw there was nothing to the sideline. He saw that was covered, so he cut and came back up and made 3 yards where there really wasn't a whole lot. That play is designed to get more, but he realized he wasn't going to get more on the side and made a cut. We've seen that play a lot.
Yeah, he runs the ball amazingly well. Great receiver, averaging 10.3 yards a carry. Handoff over the left side, has a lot of room out to midfield. Close to the first down, maybe about a yard short on that one, and that was Dre Hall spelling Quaylen Kane in the backfield.
The nice thing about Dre Hall is, as he comes into the game, you may, as a defensive person, think, oh, wait a minute, we're back for another play.
Snap, handoff, and hitting the backfield, spun out of the tackle. He was set for a loss of about a yard on that play, but Quaylen Kane spun, did a couple of 360s, able to pick up 3 yards to get the first down.
I was just going to finish about Dre Hall. I mean, he's the kind of kid that, as a defense, you might let down, but he's able to give you good yardage, got that first down. And Kane on the last play got a yard when there was really nothing.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Quaylen Kane, who's averaging 13.3 yards a carry throughout the season. Dre Hall, no slouch, 52 carries, 416 yards, 8 yards a carry. Quaylen Kane has it over the left side, finds some room, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets close to the 43-yard line, pickup of about 5.
Yeah, you know what? He just bounces off of tackles. He gets through the hole and bounces off linebackers, drags guys. He gets 5 yards. They're saying 2nd and 5. Did they replay first down? I didn't see a penalty. Did you? They're saying 2nd.
No, he got the first down. When he did the couple of spins, he got the first down. He got by a yard. So it's 2nd down now and 5 from the 43-yard line near the far hash mark. Hall has it out close to the 40. Now it's 3rd and 2.
I thought that Hall got the first down, my fault. But again, I like the power and the lumber and lightning, the power and lightning kind of between these two guys, between Kane and Hall. I like it because it keeps the defense guessing. Now, at 3rd and 2, I got to figure they're probably in 4-down territory here, Robert.
Yeah, I just can't see why they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the stiff wind that is in their face, there's no way they're going to try one of those long field goals.
Surprised. Yeah, I'm a little surprised
with
Kane's
3rd
not
and
in
2, Dre Hall is in kind of like the pistol back formation. Hand off to him over that left side, has some room, gets the corner. He's off to the races at the 25, makes a man miss, makes another miss, cuts back in. He's all the way down to the 10.
Wow, I can tell you what. I don't know what the heck Avonworth was thinking. He got around the left side. There's no linebackers. There's no safety. There's nobody from after 5 yards, he just blasted another 10-15 before one of the safeties came through and hit him. And then even after he got hit, he ran for some more. So an impressive run by Hall. We're not even talking about him for CCBC Player of the Game. And he's telling us, look, you guys got to talk about me a little bit before the game. We barely talked about him.
Beaver now going big formation. Amari Jackson is in the Wildcat. 3 running backs to his right. They now move to his left. Ball's on the far hash mark. He takes it, runs over that left side. Good penetration by Avonworth to kind of slow things up, and a tackle after a pickup of just 2 yards. Bryce Metz came in and hit him in the backfield at first, 5'11", 190. His brother is also on this team and plays really well. You got Brian Metz, and I think it's also Mason Metz on the team.
That's a good way to get Jackson more touches. Let's just face it. He's one of the best players on the field tonight. He got a lot of talent on his field tonight, but he's probably one of the top 2 or 3 for sure. And you get him the ball. We saw, once out of every 2 or 3 runs, he's getting 15, 20 yards plus. You may as well get him the ball.
Wildcat again, running backs moving from the right to the left. There's 3 of them stacked up over that left side. He decides to run behind it. He has some room. Can he get to the edge? He does. Touchdown, Beaver. Amari Jackson, first touchdown of the night.
They made that look easy. 8-yard TD by Jackson. And I got to tell you, how can you stop that? 3 linemen and 3 running backs leading the way for him, and all he had to do was just get ahead of speed around the edge and get good blocks. And I got to tell you, they made that look easy with the run game. As we watch this, look at the 3 running backs shift over. He follows them. There's a block. He just gets around the corner, uses his speed. That's an unbelievably well-drawn play.
He did a fantastic job of planting his foot right around the 5, maybe the 4-yard line, in order to keep from going out of bounds, and just tight-roped it right inside the corner pylon there to give the Beaver Bobcats a 7-0 lead now. His touchdown, and then Ty Koski kicking the extra point up and good. He is now 48 for 49 in extra points this season.
I got to tell you, the kid's got a good leg. He seems confident. Tykowski, in warm-ups, the wind was causing him a little bit of problems, but, this kid,
and
tremendous.
He's a freshman. He's just a freshman. Who knows what his future is going to be like on Saturdays if he can kick this well at just, 15, 16 years old. Remarkable performance. So Beaver is now up 7-0 on Avonworth as they get set to kick off. Tykowski has that responsibility too. 2 receivers deep for Avonworth. Luca Neal and Cooper Sharding. It bounces, picked up at the 5, carried over the right side, and then hit around the 23, still going out close to the 30-yard line, finally taken down around the 29.
So here's the thing on that line drive kick. You hope one of 2 things happens. You hope for that bounce, and it gets away from we saw that a lot in the last 3 weeks. It gets away from the back and goes to the end zone, or they pick it up with a 4 or 5, or they fumble it, or something happens, but they get it out to the 29. That's about where you're going to have it if you short squib kick it anyway.
Bellinger's in the shotgun. He has 2 H-backs, I guess you could call it, that are in the backfield with him, but they're up close to the line. Wide receiver in motion, fakes the toss, keeps it himself, up the middle, hit about 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and finally taken down at the 34, pickup of 5.
Well, he's mainly a running quarterback. That's what they do with him a lot. You see that option where he reads, sees what's going to happen with linebackers. They go no huddle as well. And will he give it to a guy coming through the back? Will he keep it himself? That's why he has so many rushing yards.
Bellinger back in the backfield once again. He's all by himself. It looks as though what they're going to be running a lot of tonight is not with a halfback right to his hip or behind him in a pistol formation. A lot of motion. He's keeping it himself, running over this left side. Penetration to the backfield, but he has room out to the 45 midfield. Finally dragged down by Amari Jackson at about the 47-yard line.
I tell you what,
46 they'll call it.
Amari Jackson prevented a touchdown because Amari Jackson went straight at his legs and took his legs out, where that quarterback went through a couple of different people, had a chance to block him and or take him down. They didn't.
Some really nice runs by Bellinger. He's only averaging 3.9 yards a carry during the season, has only attempted 25 rushes for about 98 yards, but today he is definitely performing on the ground. Has it once again, follows his backs, hit in the backfield right at the line of scrimmage and falls forward, picks up about 1 on the play.
I'm really surprised, and Tank may have a better look at it. I'm really surprised there wasn't a face mask called there, because it looked like his head turned back. The refs might not have seen that one.
Second down at the 45-yard line of Beaver. Wide receiver split wide either side. a stack of a tight end and 2 running backs on the right side. A little bit of a similar formation to what Beaver did in going into the end zone with Amari Jackson and the Wildcat, minus the receivers. But it looks as though he's going to face the handoff to his back that was crossing for a sweep and then taken down at the line of scrimmage, gang tackled by a number of defenders. Number 33, Isaac Sessi, leads the team in tackles, averaging 6.6 tackles a game, 6 tackles for loss so far this season. He held them to no gain.
And they're going to give him the well, I tell you what, that's a generous mark in my opinion. I mean, they're going to give it to where he had the forward progress, not where obviously you're not going to give it to where they blew the whistle at the 45.
3rd and 9. Bellinger looks back to the sideline. Beaver is set 2 deep defense. Brady Mayo and Junior Marino at the safety position. And then now Coach John Cora is saying, listen, let's talk about this for a minute. We got to make sure we get this.
Yeah, this is a situation where you gotta think about it.
We'll take a timeout. While they think about it, we'll take 60 seconds and come back. Beaver County Radio.
Back to school season means back to your credit union season. Before you pack the lunchbox, be sure and pack your wallet. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union and get the cash supply you'll need so that you can buy the school supplies that they will need. This is Cindy Hiladio. Stop into the principal's office and see me to sign up for an easy-to-manage personal signature loan. They're now available from $500 to $10,000 with approved credit. Friendly Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're just joining us, Beaver is up 7-0 over Avonworth. It took them 8 plays and finally capped it off with an 8-yard run by Amari Jackson. 5 minutes and 15 seconds off the game clock with that drive. Now Avonworth is making a drive of their own, starting at their own 29. They're now at the Beaver 45, 3rd and 9. Bellinger back to pass, looking, rolling to his right, trying to find a man, has a person open, doesn't see it, now trying to run for it, and is knocked out of bounds around the 42.
You know what? I mean, they had at least one guy open, but that's a situation where that wide receiver flashes out. He's at about the 33-yard line. He's open by a couple of yards. You got to hit him right away, and either, like you described it, he didn't see him, but they're going to go for it here on 4th and 6. Interesting.
Yeah, they're in this situation to where you could punt it away and try to pin Beaver back, but they want to keep this drive alive and make a statement here.
This is big. This is a big early part of the game.
Bellinger shotgun formation, 2 receivers, 1 to either side, and then his running backs are in the backfield with him, if you will. Jackson Krull in a fullback position, and they do decide to pooch it away, and it goes in and out of the end zone, and for a touchback, now Beaver will get it 1st and 10 after this timeout on Beaver County Radio.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
First down now for Beaver. Bobcats have it at their own 20-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field. They are traveling from left to right as you're listening. Don't forget you can watch on Facebook and on YouTube. Quaylen Kane has it, hit in the backfield, makes a man miss, and gets out to about the 21, maybe the 22-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to key on Kane. And, you know, this is a big, big part of the game right now. They obviously pooched it, tried to pin them inside the 10. It didn't work. Now if Beaver can move the ball, regain field position, or march down and score, it's a ball control game right now. Keep the ball away from the other team.
I'm Robert Mangino, Mike Azadian with us, and Tank Latham on the sideline with the eXp Realty Sideline Reports. And Tank, observations so far?
Oh, yeah. For Beaver, they are opening up massive holes on the left side for the running backs and for the quarterbacks. They're playing pure power ball down here in western Pennsylvania. Now, for Avonworth, they are playing like a chess match. They're trying to see what the defense is showing, and then they're kind of calling in the plays from there.
Pass and catch, Travis clear to Brady Mayo on the right side. Able to pick up just shy of first down yardage out to the 28.
You know, that play right there, that's exactly how he got hurt in the Central Valley game. That exact play, and he got taken down, and he doesn't show, he's no worse for wear. He's a gutsy kid, and he caught that ball, and he got, what did he get, 4 or 5 yards? It makes it 3rd and 2. Nice play.
Yeah, they're going to back him up just a little bit to the 27, it looks, so they're going to make it 3rd and 3. Scoreboard is calling it 3rd and 2, 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Handoff, Quaylen Kane has it, looking for some room up the middle. He has it, he's burst through, 45, 50, 40, 30, he's gone. Touchdown, Quaylen Kane. Bobcats up 13-0.
72 yards. He bursts through. Open hole, as Tank pointed out. And after he burst through, nobody touched him. Nobody came close. It doesn't look like he's running that fast, but when you watch the replay, look at him. Nobody's within 10 yards of him. Made it look easy, and we're probably at 14-0. 73 yards.
He turned it off at about the 30. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Once again, Ty Koski now 49 of 50. Can you imagine 98% in extra point attempts? He's ready for the pros already.
I love it.
But Quaylen Kane, he turned it off at around the 30-yard line. He just completely shut it down and said, you know what, I can cruise to a touchdown now. Nobody's going to touch me.
I'll tell you what, when they came off the field on defense, I'm watching the line. Tank loves this kind of stuff. The linemen are coming off. They're realizing they're catching on a little bit to Avonworth's game. They know they're beating them on the line. When linemen are coming off the field celebrating, they know they're winning battles. At 14-0 right now, early, at home, this is your game to win right now. You go out and win this game right now.
They have something to prove. Once again, if you missed the pregame show, they have really struggled against Avonworth the past 2 years.
Yep.
They played them twice during the regular season, twice in postseason. They've lost each of those 4 games.
And I'll make a point to that in a second.
Kicks away, taking it around the 10-yard line. Up to the 15, 20, looking for some room, 25, 30, 35, 40. Gets outside, close to the 45-yard line. Nice kick return.
Yeah, that's a little bit more than they want right there. So the Avonworth people are pretty happy with that. But again, talking to Court Riles and the kids the last 2 years on Coach's Corner, they knew Avonworth was in their way. They knew how close it was. They knew a play here, a play there, or they would be a higher seed, or they could possibly have a conference championship. They knew how good they were or could have been, and I think they're really geared up for this game. There's no doubt about it. They just have to stop any kind of a letdown the rest of this game. It's early yet.
1:21 to go in the first quarter. Ball's on the far hash mark. Bellinger, shotgun formation, pistol formation behind him with Dimitri Valaceris. First time he is in that formation so far tonight. Hand off to Valaceris over that left side, looking for some room. He doesn't find any. Tackled at the line of scrimmage. It was a gang tackle. Micah Poopy was there to lead the charge, and Brady Mayo.
Brady Mayo, he's fired up. I mean, I remember coming here 3 years ago. I remember seeing this team, and I remember talking to Court Riles, and he told me, young line, give us some time. And they had some COVID problems and all that. They're a lot better.
They're going to call it no gain. So second down from the 44. Avonworth once again looking over to the sideline, trying to figure out what it is that they want to be able to accomplish here. They are clearly a run-heavy team. And Bellinger to Valaceris to the line of scrimmage, and he falls forward with a pickup of 2 out to the 46-yard line. Dimitri Valaceris, 63 attempts, 299 yards. He's averaging 4.7 a carry. None of these guys for Avonworth are averaging a lot, but when you're consistently averaging over 4, you're able to continue to move the sticks.
There's no doubt about it. I think line play right now, 80-20. Beaver. Beaver's just dominating on both sides of the line.
3rd and 8 from the 46. They have to get to the Beaver.
That's the end of the
46, quarter. And the quarter is now over. 14-0. Beaver out in front. The second quarter when we come back on Beaver County Radio.
We all know there's an advantage to being the home team, to playing at home. And at LGKG, we have been your home team for over 90 years.
We're more than just a law firm. We're your friends, your neighbors, an advocate when life takes an unexpected turn.
We're not just lawyers that practice law. We live in this community, just like you.
When you need us most, we're at our best.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
Second quarter about to begin. Avonworth in a 3rd and 8. They're at the 46. They have to get to the 46 to keep this drive alive.
Big play for them.
2 wide receivers to the far side. Ball near the near hash mark. Fakes the handoff, but no penalty flag and
that's
movement
against Avonworth.
by Avonworth. So that'll back them up to about the 41-yard line.
I mean, their lack of a passing game right now is hurting them. Beavers, if you look at Beaver's line, there's some big guys on Avonworth too, but I think Beaver overall, a bigger, better line. And again, we've got some 3-year starters here. We've got some guys that have grown, a cohesive unit. That's a big reason Beaver's as good as they are. And you can tell already right now, Beaver the better team through a quarter.
3rd and 13. That defensive line, Jonah Justice at 215, 265 for Colton Robinson. Gabe Lutton is up there with 220. And Brennan Kostiak, the little guy on the end, number 47, coming in at just 195 pounds, and he's playing as a freshman starting on defense. 4 wide receivers wide, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Bellinger back to pass. Everybody's out in formation looking for a man. Has him, but only gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe to the 45. It sets up a 4th and 9 from their own 45.
I got to tell you, this Beaver team is fired up. Can you keep this up for 4 quarters? I mean, every play, fired up. Guys making tackles, fired up. Coming to the sidelines, fired up. That play there, I mean, you know, when you got the guy catching it at the original line of scrimmage and getting a yard and getting hit, I kind of wonder about that play. You're counting on him getting 10 yards on his own, and it wasn't well drawn up, no blocking, and Beaver's going to get the ball back.
Mason Metz is set to punt. He's averaging about 39.3 so far this season. Boomed along of 79. He doesn't need that here, but he's angling it out of bounds, and it went way out of bounds much earlier than he wanted it to. The referee's coming up to mark it at about the 35-yard line, so Beaver will have it 1st and 10 here at the 35. Let's check scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Here's what we have so far. Montour's up on West Allegheny, 7-0. Your thoughts?
Montour wins. They'll likely be the number 1 seed in 4A.
Hopewell and North Catholic, they're knotted up at 7.
Hopewell wins. I believe they're in.
They are both of those games in the second quarter. In fact, because we started a half hour later, these are all at least second quarter scores. Beaver now set to run their first play from scrimmage from the 35-yard line. And it looks as though Brady Mayo is in the Wildcat.
Interesting. With
Dre Hall to his hip. He takes it, and there is a timeout by Beaver. So while they figure things out, we'll talk scores.
Fry Transportation Update Desk. Sorry.
Yes, North Hills and Central Valley. This is a non-conference game, just to make sure everybody knows. North Hills is a 5A school.
Yes.
And remember, Central Valley, 3A school at the guys playing tonight.
Just on the line from 3A, 4A.
Yes, but they are trailing tonight 10-0 in the second.
Yeah, they could, before losses, be a high seed because they're that good in the conference.
Rochester jumped out to an early lead, but Southside now up 14-6.
That's a battle. Those two, the Rams versus the Rams, always a battle.
Western Beaver making a statement as they're wrapping up the season, and they're really sticking at the Freedom so far, 21-3.
They might get a top 5 or 6 seed.
Ambridge and Aliquippa, no report of a school there. No report of a score for Elwood City and Beaver Falls. And that concludes the reported scores that we have coming in so far.
Those two games should be Aliquippa and Elwood City. And those two teams likely, depends, Aliquippa should be a 2 or 3, and Elwood City could be looking at a 1 or a 2 seed.
And Mayo has it, fakes the toss, and was first touched in the backfield, was able to get out of that and pick up a gain of about 2 as he scampers over the 35 to the 37.
I think that Beaver is, they're trying some different things, and I get that. But I think you want to stick with what got you here, and you've got a 14-0 lead. Interesting that they've gone to Mayo here. I think they're just going to give teams in the playoffs different looks, but unusual to have him in there at Wildcat.
He takes it, fakes the toss, decides to keep it himself up the middle, making some people miss, gets first down yardage out to the 46-yard line.
Well, just proved me wrong. His speed and find a man open. That fake toss had enough guys standing still and leaning enough that he took it and went. And that's a design play, and it worked really well.
And they decide to go with the Wildcat. This time Amari Jackson says, hey, I want to be able to play this game too.
Let's wait and see what he could do.
Three wide receivers. He decides to pitch it out to Dre Hall. Hall has it and is unable to make a man miss. Breaks a couple of tackles, though, out to midfield.
Wow.
He was tackled for a loss on that play at the 45, but was able to squirm out of it and get out to midfield.
I know one thing. Avonworth's coaches have to be saying to themselves, you guys have to tackle. That's at least 2 or 3 missed tackles. They should have had him down. He gets a 4-yard gain, which would have been -1. So effectively, he had 6 yards on that.
2nd down and 6. Fakes the toss. Amari Jackson over the right side. Makes another man miss out past the markers. Looks as though he has a first down pickup down to the Antelopes 44.
And what they're doing is getting the ball in the skilled players' hands. They're taking turns between Mayo, Jackson, Hall, and Quaylen Kane. 4 guys instead of just 1. Keep guys healthy. It's a good way to go. And now, as Avonworth, who do you gear for? Do you gear up to stop the big back in Kane? Do you gear up to stop the quick guy or one of the quick receivers?
And Avonworth is playing a respect on the passing game too. Quaylen Kane toss outside, makes another man miss out close to first down yardage, pickup of 9 all the way to the Avonworth 35.
I already talked to Coach Rouse and told him not this week, not next week, but in 2 weeks we're going to have them on the we're going to get a timeout here. We're going to have them on Coach's Corner. I can't wait to talk to Brady and Jackson and Kane again.
Okay, they're going to say that he stepped out a little bit early, and they're going to mark him at the 37-yard line, so he has to pick up 3 for the first down. So it is a 2nd and 7 here, and it's really remarkable what they're doing when it comes to this Wildcat. Normally, if you're going to run the Wildcat this much, then you don't have to worry too much about the pass. But the Antelopes are playing the pass regardless of who's there, whether it's Mayo or it's Amari Jackson. It doesn't make a difference.
You know what? My thought right now in this is, and I don't know what Coach Rouse and the rest of the Beaver staff is thinking, you're up by 14, you're eating clock, you're keeping the ball out of their hands. Why put the ball in the air unless you have to? You're getting 5 and 6 yards a clip running or more. Just keep that up. You may not have to throw a couple times a game. You might want to mix it up a little bit, but in this wind, why risk any kind of a turnovers? Right now, to my thinking, to borrow a phrase from Bruce Fry, is why change things up? Why give that other team a chance? Why risk a turnover? This is Beaver's game to lose right now. Up 14 and dominating so far.
8:57 to go until halftime. They are driving once again, 2nd and 3 from the Avonworth 37. Ball's on the near hash mark, and Mayo is in at the Wildcat, and he has Dre Hall on his right hip. Hands it off to Hall, trying to find a way of getting some room. Fumble, and then recovered by Beaver.
Yeah, that's dangerous. So they'll lose a couple there, but we were just talking about turnovers, and you got to be careful. You don't want to give the other team life, not especially at midfield.
3rd down. They're set at the 38-yard line. They have to get to the 34. So we're going to call it 3rd and 4. And it looks as though they're going to bring everybody in tight, and this time let Amari Jackson have it.
Yeah, this makes sense.
They're in the same formation they were for the touchdown run where he picked up 8 yards to get the score. Now they shift.
Yeah.
Flag.
It's going to be on.
And it looks as though they're calling offsides against Avonworth.
Oh, boy. That's a first down. Boy, that's a big mistake. That is a big mistake for Avonworth. Here you are at 3rd and 4. Yeah, it's 4-down territory, but you're already down 14-0. And you make a mistake like that, you keep this drive going. So no matter what, even if you somehow stop them, you get the ball back. Still down, and that's a big mistake for Avonworth. That's the kind of stuff you just can't do.
Beaver is moving pretty much at will. We're into the 5th play of this drive.
Oh, yeah.
They started back at the 35, and now they're to the 33 of Avonworth. Wide receivers, 3 wide. Amari Jackson has it, hands it off. And Dre Hall plowing up the middle over the 30-yard line, close to the 29, pick up a 4.
For fans watching this on YouTube, and a lot of us will watch the quarterback, watch the ball carrier, but watch the line. Watch the push the line is getting. Most of the line is getting a 2 or 3 yard push. So the running backs have that much no matter what. So even if they get hit and stopped, they're still getting a 2-3 yard gain. The line is that good for Beaver tonight.
Zachary Barnes at left tackle, coming in 6'3", 270. Aiden Connolly is the left guard. He's at 210. Amari Jackson has it over that left side, making a couple of men miss, getting down inside close to the 25-yard line, setting up what looks to be a 3rd and 2 now. Let me finish this offensive line. So Aiden Connolly, how about this? Not only is he a great lineman, he's also brilliant. GPA 4.0 here.
Good for him.
Tony Rabiton, number 52, 6 foot 225. He's a junior. Damian Lutton, his brother, is Gabe on this team. He's a sophomore, 220 at 5'11". And JT Pashuta, 6'3", 250. He's another one with a GPA of 4.0. So now Mayo is in the Wildcat. And Kane has it, splits some defenders and gets close to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. Plenty of yardage for a first down pickup. He needed to get a couple. He got a couple more on top of it.
Again, there's a big difference in football when you get the ball behind the line of scrimmage and you get hit before the line of scrimmage versus getting hit 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. There's all kind of room to run. The push is there.
And it isn't as though Avonworth's defense
is bad.
It's not. They are big guys up front. They're very athletic. Mayo, making a man miss in the backfield, falls forward once again. He was set to be tackled for no gain and figured out a way of being able to pick up 4. They do this consistently tonight.
Their fight. I mean, you can just tell the fight right now for the Beaver kids. Maybe soon we'll get Tank's idea on the line play because he's closer to it than us, but you could just see. And Brady comes up limping a little bit. Let's hope he's going to be okay. But, the fight and Jackson and Mayo and Kane and Hall, fighting for extra yardage. These kids want it. They want it bad. These kids have gone through this last 2 years of losing to Avonworth.
Amari Jackson's in the Wildcat. Dre Hall is on his left hip. He follows Hall to the outside. Jackson makes a man miss and then is able to fall forward, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. You got to give it up to Avonworth. They're doing a great job of being able to penetrate the gap so far tonight. That one was Jackson Krull, who came in from his defensive end position. He's a smaller guy at just 185, but he was able to get in there, and they are able to make that initial contact behind the line of scrimmage. But Beaver is able to figure out a way of being able to break those initial tackles.
Yeah, but on the short side of the field there, Jackson, not a lot of room to run, so 3rd and 6. Definitely 4-down territory. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jackson in a slot or a throw to Jackson here. Maybe a screen. We haven't seen a screen pass yet.
How about Travis Clear is back in the lineup for the first time in this drive, tosses it out to Dre Hall around the outside, and he's able to get close to the 15, maybe the 16-yard line is about as far as it's going to get. This is going to set up a 4th down now and about 5.
Are they going to set a field goal?
Here he comes. Ty Koski's on the field. This is going to be what will look like a 31, maybe a 32-yarder here.
And you know what? I like it because you get points. And if you don't get points, they're pinned deep. So it's not like you're taking a long field goal. Let's see how good he's going to be from here.
Yeah, it's set up at 33 yards, just inside the 24-yard line. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, plenty of leg, and the kick is good.
Oh, yeah.
Ty Koski for his first field goal on the season, and he nails it from 33.
Making it look easy.
Now, Beaver's up 17-0, 4:04 to go in the second quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Do you want a chance to win $1,000? Head over to the Rochester Hotel and watch your favorite NFL team every Sunday. Ask the bartender for a ticket to enter your name for a chance to win the $1,000 cash prize for free. Everyone is eligible to enter one entry every Sunday throughout the entire NFL season. Enjoy this football season with specials on all your favorite game day foods and drinks at the Rochester Hotel. The winner of the $1,000 cash prize will be chosen on Super Bowl Sunday. So head out to the Rochester Hotel every Sunday this NFL season for your chance to win $1,000.
Beavers had the ball now 3 times. They've had 3 scores. 17-0. The Bobcats over the Antelopes. Ball taken at about the 7-yard line. Straight up the hash mark, looking for some room. Has it. Gets it all the way out to the 43 before he was taken down. And he was just in a track meet. He just had his lane, and he was following those hash marks all the way out to the 45.
Well, we're talking about Beaver and what they're doing on offense and defense. Special teams, not so much. That's about the 3rd run back now that they've got significant yardage. You don't want the team to start at the 45. They got to button that up.
Tank, why were they so successful on that last drive?
Guys, I'm watching the Avonworth. When they're trying to tackle, they are arm tackling. While when you watch Beaver, they are gang tackling. They're getting 2, 3, 4 guys on the ball carrier. Avonworth, there's only 1 guy, and they're reaching. So there's a little bit of a physicality difference here.
Looks as though Avonworth now is going to run their own Wildcat, and the penalty flags come flying
all over the place. 3 of them.
Movement against Avonworth, so they had a 1st and 10 at their own 45. Now they're going to back them up 5 yards.
I think it's important that Beaver got that. Even it's a field goal, and even though they dominated, you still have a 3-score lead now. And Avonworth has done pretty much nothing with the ball. They've only had it twice. You got to figure that they're going to make some changes at halftime, but this is really bodes well.
Nico Neal is in the Wildcat. He follows all of his running backs over that left side, bounces into his own lineman, and is able to get to what looks to be the 43-yard line. Pickup of 3, setting up a 2nd and 12.
No running room, none. No holes to run through. He's getting hit at the line. Right now, Avonworth has to be questioning himself a little bit. They have to have some doubt in their mind. They know what they've done to this team the last 2 years.
Dre Hall had to come off on the defense for Beaver. He lost his shoe. And so they're going to put it back on him and get him back out there as soon as they can, but he had to come off for at least 1 play. And so still they're going to go with Nico Neal in the Wildcat. He is one of those guys who's had the ball and carried at least 25 times. What a great play. Number 47, Brennan Kostiak for Beaver, came off his defensive end position and was able to tackle Nico Neal for no gain, 3rd and 12.
I don't think you're going to beat Beaver by running the ball. I really don't. I think you could beat them maybe if you force them to turn the ball over, maybe if you play better defense. You're going to have to throw the ball to beat them, and I don't know if they can.
Nigo crushed in and caved in on that offensive left side from his defensive end position and just ran around the big offensive lineman, the 280-pound Bonnet. And now a timeout by Beaver with 1 minute to go. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, it's like 2:50.
I went over and looked at the clock, and I saw that timeout.
They're so fast.
It's timeout clock is running. But anyway, Beaver is looking really good on both sides of the ball at this point. You made a valid point about special teams. Yeah. But when it comes to the defense, they're doing really, really well, like Tank said about gang tackling and really sniffing out the ball like Kostiak did on that last play.
I agree. But the thing, let's go back to the special teams. When you get into the playoffs and you're playing a good team every single week, that's when you got to do more than just kick it to the 5-yard line. Good teams know that they can bring it out against Beaver to the 30 or 40. You may want to start doing the squib kick, the line drive, the sideline. This is 3 times they've kicked off, and 3 times Avonworth's got good yardage. Avonworth's had good field position. They have. They just haven't been able to get first downs because Beaver's defense has been that good. So the better team by far, Beaver, but the one thing against the Bobcats is special teams has been struggling.
Avonworth so far has not been able to get beyond the 35-yard line of Beaver. So now it's 3rd and 12. Bellinger, empty backfield, fakes a pass, now decides to run, and he is sacked back at the 40-yard line. Big takedown. Number 31, Jonah Justice, the 215-pound junior, has 4 tackles for loss on the season. That will make number 5 and his 3rd sack of the season, too.
And Beaver calls a timeout to save the clock. So they have some time left to run a drive. So that play didn't work out at all. He faked it. The defensive back stayed with it. He might have been better off running around looking for an open man, but that was almost like it was designed that way, and no one on Beaver was fooled up the middle. I mean, as soon as he decided to run, he was taken down almost immediately. So you're talking now 4th and 15. I doubt they go for it here because you don't want to give Beaver a short field. You have to punt here and hope your defense can hold. And Beaver calls the timeout because, hey, they have it, and B, they want to be able to get it back and maybe make a move with it. Because if they could score another time before the half, this game is all theirs unless they find a way to lose it.
4th and 15. What's surprising is that they've not made a legitimate effort to pass the ball so far. They've only had that one pass attempt and a completion that was only back to the line of scrimmage on a crossing route. The kick is away, and it is going to bounce around the 28-yard line and take a Beaver bounce and then touched by an Antelope at around the 28. There is a flag around midfield before we take a timeout. Let's find out what this flag means. It's right at the hash mark at the 50-yard line, and it looks as though I just saw a wave that would point toward against Avonworth with the official call here from our head referee.
They're going to get ready to go right away, Robert, so I'm not sure if we're going to have.
We may not have time for a timeout.
Yeah, well, we got.
That's all right.
Halftime and.
Yes.
It's a little less of me and you at halftime, that's all.
There you go. The conversation is still going on about what exactly happened. So the ball was down at the 28-yard line. Beaver's ball there. We know it's not going to stay there based upon the flag unless they decide to pick this thing up. Here comes the official call from the referee. Personal foul, face mask against Beaver. So they're going to back it up from the 28. Looks as though it may be a half the distance to the goal for on that one. So they may be back all the way.
No, this is against. No, they got it wrong.
Okay. So the referee initially pointed to Beaver, and now they're flipping things around. So it goes from the 28 all the way out to the 43-yard line
another
for
big
Beaver.
Mistake. A penalty to keep the first drive going. They score. And now, here we are at midfield with 2:09 to go. And you got a whole lot of time to try to either get another field goal or another touchdown.
And here we go. Beaver has it. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Travis Clear at quarterback. Quaylen Kane is on his hip. He goes from his left to his right. Ball's on the far hash mark. Takes it. Hands it off to Kane right up the middle. Splits the defenders out to about the 48-yard line. Pickup of what looks like 5.
And they're going to hustle up. I tell you what, how about Avonworth? 3 times in one half with the ball. Beavers dominated that much to hold on to the ball. That is big. And you got to figure if that continues, you won't get the ball that much in the second either.
Shotgun formation, very similar. Handoff once again. Kane over that right side, makes another man miss. First down pickup. He gets all the way to the 44-yard line. They're finally going to call him down at the 44. Big pickup, the 8 yards and a first down.
And that stops the clock to move the sticks. And Beaver should be ready, and they're ready.
1:35 to go in the first half. Kane has the ball once again, splits defenders all the way through to the 35. First down pickup down to the 32. Picked up 12 on that run.
You know, I asked a kid this week from Rochester, when you're a linebacker and you see a guy coming at you that hard and you know you're going to get hit, what's it like? He goes, well, I like it. Yeah, but I don't know. You like it when a guy like Quaylen Kane's coming at you.
No way. Quaylen Kane, 6'1", 190, and the man's all muscle. Kane has the ball once again. Really nifty on his feet for his size, too, and the power that he brings. Gets it inside the 30 down to the 29.
They can clock the ball here if they need to. A minute to go. They're not where they have to throw it yet, but they're getting close to that point. They better hurry up.
All right, Kane coming off the field. He's a little on the tired side. Don't blame him. Drake Hall is in at halfback. Twin wide receivers. Drake Hall has it over the right side. Makes 2 men miss. Makes a third miss, a fourth, and finally 5, 6, and 7 bring him down.
That's short of the first down. They should consider. Do they have a timeout left? I think they do.
They do. It does not look as though they do from my perspective.
Wow. I thought they. Well, maybe
I'm
wrong.
30 seconds. The clock continues to run. Timeout, Avonworth.
Interesting. So now you're Avonworth, and I know you want to get your defense set, but the clock is against Beaver right now. You only got 24 seconds. you're making it easier for them. I know you want to set your defense up, but now you make things easier for Beaver. Now it's 3rd and 1. They get a first down. It resets. The clock stops. But unless you break a big run, you're going to have to clock the ball for a field goal or something. But Avonworth stopping the clock, I don't think that's a wise move in my opinion.
Avonworth, although they've been able to have penetration into the backfield a number of times, like Tank mentioned, their arm tackling, there's only been one play, maybe two that I can recall, where the Beaver running back was tackled at the line of scrimmage. They've consistently gotten at least the 1 yard that they need right now.
Everybody's doing this, tackling up high. You got to get a guy below the waist, especially guys big like me and Tank. You can't bring us down with arm tackles up high. You got to go for the legs. Tank, give us a thumbs up on that. There you go.
Coming up at halftime, the Owl's Pizza halftime show, we will recap the first half. We'll take a look at how our CCBC Player of the Game projections are doing. Also, take a look at the Fried Transportation Update Desk and get scores from around the Beaver Valley. Back to pass, looking, has a man wide open. Dre Hall has it and knocked out of bounds at around the 5.
Wow. He went and looked like he was going to go left, guided himself left, and Hall just comes out of the flat, and the DB just kept backing up, didn't stay with him. He was wide open. He didn't want to get run past. Now it's 1st and goal from the, looks like 5. So you could still run here and clock the ball if you had to, but you don't have a whole lot of time. You got to be careful with 22 seconds to go.
He was knocked out of bounds, and apparently he did a little bit more than that. Dead ball foul against Avonworth.
Oh, that's half the distance to the goal. Interesting. Now I see maybe a end around from a Jackson, or you put Jackson back there. I think Jackson's going to be slotted out of the receiver position.
Yeah, Travis Clear is staying in at quarterback. Quaylen Kane is in at tailback.
Yep, that's what
and they have Jesse in at fullback. So here's the way it's set. For those of you who are listening on radio, Clear is in the shotgun, and then they have, in what would look like an I formation, Isaac Sessi and then Quaylen Kane behind him, right to his left hip. Man in motion. Another man goes in motion to the right. Hand off to Quaylen Kane, bounces to the right side, trying to find some room, gets down close to the 2, and no further, maybe the 1. He may have picked up 1 yard. The clock is ticking.
They got
12 seconds,
11,
10, 9, 8. The clock is stopped. What looks to be 6 seconds left, and they bring on the field goal team.
Interesting.
Ty Koski, who made a field goal in the last drive from 33 yards away. The wind is a little bit to his back, and he's clearly within a range that he's comfortable with. It's an extra point distance, really.
We'll make a point after.
The ball is going to be set at the 9. It's going to be a 19-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. They're up 20-0.
Yeah, think about this for 1 second. This is, obviously Beaver's in control of this game. There's 2 halves to a football game. A lot can happen. That's only 20-0. 3 scores, you could win this game 21-0. Avonworth with 2 holds. Yeah, Beaver scored points, but think about it. If Beaver gets touchdowns on the last 2, it's 28-0. Not saying there's no hope, but when you only had the ball 3 times, here's a situation where you got to be positive coming into the locker room if you're Avonworth saying, hey, look, we just held them. I know it's 20-0, guys, but your defense held. I haven't played great, but we can play a lot better.
Yeah, those last 2 possessions, they were able to force them to field goals. Tank, from your vantage point, what do you think and what's your assessment of these last 2 drives by Beaver and Avonworth being able to keep them out of the end zone?
Personally, I think Beaver's just trying to see what they can do with who they have, and they're not trying to show anything too special. I think they're just happy with the lead they got and trying not to get anybody hurt.
That's a good point.
The kick is away, and it's a square down to the 25, taken by one of the up men, and then out of bounds at the 40. Clock's at 0. We are at halftime. The Owl's Pizza halftime show is on, and we will go to Tank right now with an interview with Coach Rouse of the Beaver Bobcats.
But here's the thing.
And a quick little chat with one of his assistant coaches, and he'll give us a minute here. 20-0. Beaver is leading Avonworth. And Tank?
All right, here with Coach Rouse. Your kids are fired up, Coach. What did you say before you came out here that got them all so fired up?
I mean, I just told him, like, hey, this is a gift to be here, right? We've been here before against this team. It's a talented group. Coach John Cowher and those guys, it's a challenge to go play and compete against such a quality team, and I just it's a gift. So let's just make sure we accept this gift, appreciate that gift, and let's not squander it. Let's embrace it and just keep going after it.
Did you expect not to pass so much this game? I don't think there was more than maybe 10 times that anybody threw the ball tonight.
I mean, honestly, we're just doing what our offense gives. Coach in the box is seeing things. We're just seeing what we can be successful with, and we're just going to keep going with what we're doing until we have to make another adjustment.
All right, Greg, great job.
Thank you very much. To appreciate that, Coach. And Tank Latham, Ryan Mayo, the offensive coordinator for Beaver, so far calling a really, really good game.
Yeah, he is. And, you've got talented guys in Mayo and Jackson. And last game, we saw Jackson had to handle the ball way more. But now you've got Mayo, Jackson, Kane. And the guy that really is doing more than – and we didn't talk about is Dre Hall. I mean, he seems to have more fight than almost anybody. He's broken tackles. They're expecting Kane. They're geared up for Kane. And when Hall has gotten in there, I think Hall has done tremendous. And he's been a big factor in this game. He's got the he doesn't have a touchdown where Kane and Jackson do, but he's got a lot of yards. You throw Tykowski in the mix. But 20-0, you got to love the fact that they have a three-score lead right now going into the half if you're a Beaver fan.
All right, the Alice Pizza halftime show is on, and we'll come back in a moment. Take a look at scores at the Friday Transportation Update Desk. We'll also look at CCBC players of the game, who is the front runner on each one of these teams in our assessments at this point. Get a bit of a recap of this game. 20-0, Beaver all over Avonworth on Beaver County Radio.
Hey, this is Olivia, Al's daughter. Al's Pizza next to Fisher's Beverage in New Brighton is open. Yes, the owner of the food truck whose pizza you enjoy has a storefront in New Brighton next to Fisher's Beverage. Al's Pizza is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Al's Pizza also has hoagies, calzones, pepperoni rolls, and gluten-free options. If you like pickles, you will love their pickle pizza. Yes, I said pickle pizza. So stop out and see Al next to Fisher's Beverage in New Brighton for pizza this football season.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls. Your Beaver County McDonald's restaurants are proud to partner with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring all the local high school football games this season. Stop into any of your local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Visit McHire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
How can I help my child to make positive choices?
Start with a conversation. Start making the difference.
Beaver County Parents, is your child between the ages of 10 and 14? If so, Keystone Wellness Programs is offering the Strengthening Families program in your area. This free program is designed for families to have fun together while learning ways to promote family bonding and communications. For more information about upcoming sessions near you, visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org.
Paid for with PA taxpayer dollars.
The sound of classic golden oldies and classic cars just naturally go together. Gary Snare and his professional team at Gnu's Body Works in Freedom is ready to help you relive those golden days of memories of yesterday in style. They specialize in restoration and customization of all makes and models to make your dream ride a reality. Everything from lowering or airbagging your rod or street custom to fill custom color paint color. Gnu's also handles collision and general repairs. Restore your old ride to its former glory. Call Gnu's Body Works, 408th Street in Freedom.
No matter what the circumstances, no matter the reason, one of the few things that is left when a loved one passes on are the memories. Staging those memories in an honoring way is one of the reasons so many people have chosen J&J Spratt Funeral Home. A person's legacy depends on a lifetime of accomplishments and then how they are remembered. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has helped start the process of creating positive legacies for over 70 years. Visit jjsprattfh.com. Joseph M. Spratt, Supervisor and Funeral Director.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall, in love that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
Zookie's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard has the best wings and homemade sauces in Beaver County. Zookie's Sports Tavern is the perfect place to grab a bite to eat or a cold beverage before high school basketball games. Zookie's Sports Tavern has a heated and enclosed outside bar equipped with several big screen TVs and is the ideal place to watch all of your favorite sports. Don't forget to become a VIP for discounts and special offers at Zookies.com. That's Zookie's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard.
You're listening to 2024 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio from the McGee Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by eXp Realty, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Keystone Wellness, Pride Transportation Group LLC, Forward RX, Electric Garage Door Sales, the YMCA, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Tri-State McDonald's, I'm loving it, and Beaver County Radio.
It is halftime, the Al's Pizza halftime show of the game between Beaver and Avonworth. And the Bobcats are up 20-0, and what a performance so far in this game by the Bobcats.
No doubt about it. They dominated on the line, both sides of the line. You could argue that the defense has played better than the offense. You could argue that the offense has played better than the defense. Either way, other than a few small special teams mishaps, this team's played a really good game. And okay, I'm sure some people will be disappointed they didn't get in the end zone on that last drive, but they didn't have a whole lot of time, and they did get points and did get field goals. But 20-0 in a game like this against this good of a team, you couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, and I would argue that last field goal wasn't about Beaver not being able to get in.
Right.
It was more about the clock being a better defender of that end zone than Avonworth
But I mean,
was.
they couldn't get in from 3 out, 2 out, whatever. But they still, Avonworth made a nice stop and forced that. But still, points are points.
CCBC player of the game for both sides for you at the halfway point.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, boy, for Beaver, I think that every guy we mentioned, Jackson, Brady Mayo, have played great. Tykowski, who we didn't talk about, has played great too. But I got to say, the consistent running of Quaylen Kane right now, he's my leading candidate. And for Avonworth, man, I don't even know. I mean, really, there's nobody that's shined, and it's really hard for me to pinpoint any one guy for Avonworth right now. Tank might have a better idea at that, but I can't really pick anybody from them.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Dimitri Valiceras, who has been a big performer for them all season long, we've only seen him in a drive or two, and they've not had much success in the drives that he's been in on.
Maybe the quarterback with a couple early nice runs.
He did. How about this one? Tykowski is leading the game right now in points scored. 2 field goals and 2 extra points. He has 8 points on the day.
Nobody picked him.
I tell you what, I just love him because he's a little guy. He's a freshman.
Here's the thing.
He can kick the heck out of the football, and it's just a tremendous performer. I can't wait to see what he does.
You know what we might
when
have
he
to
becomes
do?
a senior.
We might have to send you down on the sidelines for Sideline for the second half and interview him if he's CCBC player of the game, because I don't think Tank's capable of interviewing a kicker.
Can you interview a kicker?
We already picked. We did pick a kicker already.
I don't know.
We did pick one already, but he's doing great out there as well. But
you're a lineman guy.
You're right. You know why? Because that's what I'm saying. The CCBC player of the game so far for me is definitely the Beaver Beef down there. They are down there.
Hey, if you want to do all five of them, that's
I'm telling
fine.
you, the offensive line and the defensive line for
No doubt.
Beaver is owning this game, and this is a statement game. As much as the coach is saying it's not, this is a statement game. These kids are taking it personal.
I'm okay with picking the line and you interviewing 5 guys.
Oh, yeah.
Are you seasoned enough that you can get 5 guys, a question in each?
I used to be a teacher, dude.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it really looks to me, from our perspective here, atop the press box at the stadium here at Beaver, the Pat Tarquino Stadium, that Beaver came to play and Avonworth didn't. That they're kind of coasting through this into the playoffs. They don't necessarily feel like they have a whole lot to play for. They're at least going to get a share of the conference title. They're probably going to be at least a 2 seed, maybe a 3 seed if the loss is bad enough. But they're not feeling as though it's going to. It's not about this game. They are playing as though the season that matters is the next one. This season in their mind may be over already.
That's a good point. From up here, Beaver definitely the better team, dominating on the line. They're giving the running back so much room to run. They're stopping the other team, and they just want it more. We talked about guys coming off the field, excited, fired up. And Avonworth, they were playing from behind from the beginning. Obviously the better team. You know, yeah, I think if they lose, I don't think they're a 2 seed. I think they're going to be a 3 or a 4. I think there's other good teams. They'll probably 3 of the best 4 teams I still think are in this conference. So depends. If Central Valley wins and Beaver wins this game, Avonworth, that could be your 2, 3, 4. That could be your 3, 4, 5. It depends.
Your thoughts about how the teams, both of them, have performed so far in the first half?
I mean, obviously, Beaver's playing lights out. The coaches, they're down there coaching with their hair on fire, as it's called. They're coaching up the players as they're coming off the field. They're telling them what's good, what's bad, and telling them don't forget there's a whole other half of football to be played down here. Now, on the other side, Avonworth, I mean, maybe I'm looking too much into the pregame interview I gave to the coach. He said, we're all in the playoffs already. I don't like that saying, but hopefully they say something out in the locker room that fires up those kids, because you got to not take this beating like you are, and it's really a beating that they're taking out there.
We are about halfway through halftime here. It's 20-0, Beaver over Avonworth. Coming up in a moment, we will take a look at scores around the Beaver Valley from the Fry Transportation Update Desk and a little bit of a recap of the first half on Beaver County Radio.
Let Hallowed Grounds Coffee Roastery of New Brighton help you start each day with a winning cup. Taste the thrill of victory in every sip of Hallowed Grounds heavenly roasted coffee. Brew up a win when you shop small and support a local business. Help Hallowed Grounds celebrate the home team spirit and get into the zone by clicking on hallowedgrounds.com. Or score big when you stop in person at Hallowed Grounds Coffee Roastery in New Brighton. Brew, sip, and celebrate.
J. Young Refuse in Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 34 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day, while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. Call them today at 724-495-6199 with any questions you may have. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, but the game of life is a lot easier to play when you're insured with the best. More than 117 years has proven the Henderson Agency in Aliquippa knows what it takes to provide their customers with the best insurance for their needs. Auto, home, motorcycle, boat, or business. They pride themselves on good, old-fashioned friendly service and represent several insurance companies, including Progressive, National General, an Allstate company, and Mutual Benefit. The Henderson Agency, Aliquippa. Looking for a fall activity for your children? Pass and score your way into the Beaver County YMCA's Youth Soccer League. The league will teach the basic fundamentals of soccer. There will be one practice a week teaching drills and skills. This soccer league is for kids ages 5 through 12 and runs from September 10th to October 19th. Registration is already open. To register, go to beavercountyymca.org.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com. Did you know that if you have the ability to listen to the radio, you have the ability to dig a ditch? It's true. By renting the right equipment from D&G Rentals in Beaver Falls, you can turn big projects into simple ones. So if you can master your cell phone, you can probably build a new patio or pour a new sidewalk. You already have the know-how, you just don't have the right tools. And that's where D&G Rentals comes in. Visit dgrent.com. So remember, if you can change the channel, you can probably change a transmission with a little help from D&G Rentals.
Back to school season means back to your credit union season. Before you pack the lunchbox, be sure and pack your wallet. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union and get the cash supply you'll need so that you can buy the school supplies that they will need. This is Cindy Hiladio. Stop into the principal's office and see me to sign up for an easy-to-manage personal signature loan. They're now available from $500 to $10,000 with approved credit. Friendly Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to 2024 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio from the McGee Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by eXp Realty, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Keystone Wellness, Pride Transportation Group LLC, Forward RX, Electric Garage Door Sales, the YMCA, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Tri-State McDonald's, I'm loving it, and Beaver County Radio.
We are back, the Al's Pizza halftime show here in Beaver, 20-0 over Avonworth. Looking at scores around the Beaver Valley from the Fried Transportation Update Desk. Southside and Rochester, Southside up 14-12 in the third quarter.
Boy, the Rochester Rams, after a real tough beginning of the season, they're right there with a win and you're in playoff. Southside should be in win or lose, but they've struggled recently.
Newcastle looking for their first conference victory to end the season. They have Blackhawk, and they're up 14-0.
I got to tell you, Blackhawk, they're another team that if they win, they've got an outside chance to make it, and I'm a little bit surprised that they're struggling right now.
The Moon Tigers looking for a way to get into the playoffs. They have South Fayette that has not been in. Yeah, they've been a great team all season long. They struggled last week. Yeah, but Moon's up 7-0.
You know, I think South Fayette is in win or lose because they've got 6 wins. But Moon wins, and they got a pretty good chance to win a wild card berth.
Central Valley, they trail North Hills 10-0.
Yeah, Central Valley's in already, I would feel, and if they lose, probably a lower seed than they're used to, but they're going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs.
Western Beaver on a roll, 35-3 on Freedom.
They should be one of the better, higher seeds in 2A.
And a post on our social media page, it looks as though Elwood City is mercy ruling Beaver Falls already.
Yeah, you know, I feel bad for Beaver Falls and the kids and the coach, but they're decimated by graduation. It happens to 1 or 2 teams every year, and they're just building for the next few years. They're going to get better. It's just going to be a little bit of time. It's something Beaver Falls isn't used to, but don't panic. They've got help on the way.
Coming up after the game today, Bruce Fry and the Moon Township Ford wrap-up show where he will be taking your calls about this game and every other game that's happening all over the valley. So wherever you are, whatever you're watching, whatever you're listening to, please make it a point of joining Bruce after the game tonight.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I just think that I've been doing this a long, long time, and in the last 5 or 6 years, it's been Central Valley, Aliquippa, Southside, Beaver, and a handful of teams that had some clinchings. This year, we've got 8 or 9 teams that are going to be in and 7 or 8 teams that have a chance. This year, more than the last probably 5 to 10 years, we have a lot of Beaver County teams have a really good shot to make the playoffs because of the Hopewell, the New Brighton, the Riverside, and Rochester down. But all those teams win and either in or win and a pretty good chance to win. Pretty impressive.
Let's talk about this game and how we got to 20-0 here at halftime. Beaver has looked to be in control the entire first half.
They marched the ball down the field, scored on an Amari Jackson 8-yard touchdown to make it 7-0. Avonworth has done nothing but punt 3 straight times. The second time Beaver had the ball, a few plays in, 73-yard Quaylen Kane touchdown, impressive run. He's not touched most of the way. Get into the second quarter, Avonworth's defense played a little bit better. They bent, but didn't completely break, and held Beaver to a 33-yard Ty Koski field goal and then a 19-yard Ty Koski field goal, although if there was more time to go in the half, I think Beaver could have scored a touchdown. So 20-0, and Avonworth has had the ball 4 times, once with 2 seconds to go in the game on a kickoff, and once and 3 other times they had to punt. So if things go this way in the second half, even if their defense stops Beaver somewhat, you figure Avonworth gets the ball 3, 4, maybe 5 times. Beaver's a ball control, clock-eating offense. Avonworth's going to have to play a perfect second half and hope for some turnovers if they want to come back.
Yeah, Beaver is looking very strong today. Defensively, they've been able to hold Avonworth completely in check. Avonworth hasn't been able to get in beyond the 35-yard line. They've never been a threat. Beaver never felt so far as though they really got to, buckle down here because they're getting a dogfight. It's not been the case at this point.
Exactly. And one thing a lot of people don't realize, and we hear this all the time because most people watch the quarterback, most people watch the running back. When you physically watch, when you watch these linemen, every single coach that I have ever talked to will say the same thing over and over and over again. Would you rather have a good set of running backs coming back, or would you rather have the line coming back? And everyone says line, because if the line is a cohesive unit, you can teach kids that can run fast to follow blocks. You can find tough kids to run the ball. But if you don't have the line, you don't have any running room, you get dominated at the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage is why teams build from line out, and Beaver's winning this game. Tank talked about it up here earlier, the line. You watch them in the second half. They're pushing, and Quaylen Kane is getting into the secondary before he's even touched. And that is a big, big thing in football.
Yeah, when you look at the left side of Avonworth, and you look at a guard that's 220 and then a tackle that's 280, 6'5", he's getting Division I looks, but playing defensive end for Beaver is Brennan Kostiak. He's a freshman at 6'2", 195, and you would think you'd be able to have him just push him all over the place, but he's playing impressive defense tonight.
When you think about what Tank has always said, and he's taught me this, you could be big but not be that great at run blocking or pass blocking. You have to be strong. So sometimes a kid not as heavy can be stronger. But in this case, Beaver has both light guys and heavier guys both being stronger. Do you think it's an accident that Aliquippa has won these titles the last few years with the line they've had? Line play is huge. Yeah, you have to have all-state running backs, too, at times to win big championships. But Beaver has a team that looks like they can make a long run in the playoffs if they can stay healthy with the line and the talent they have. Not only at running back, but guys like Jackson and Mayo, who can also run the ball from the Wildcat. They have all kind of different looks. So, boy, when you have to prepare for them, you can't just prepare 1, 2 guys. You got to prepare 5 or 6 guys on offense.
All right, so Avonworth gets the ball coming out to start the second half.
Yeah.
They won the toss. They deferred.
Yeah, might have been a mistake there.
It may have been because Beaver has scored every single time they've had the ball. And so now they get the ball back. They need to accomplish a couple of things. One, there's an aspect to where if you get a quick strike score, then all of a sudden it's a 13-point game, and you can have the momentum shift pretty quick. Shy of that, because they've only thrown a couple of passes, only completed one, I think, for no gain,
right,
or a couple of yards.
Yeah.
So they need to have a nice ball control drive that shows that they can make their own assertive presence here. If not, this is going to be a long second half for them.
I agree, and I'm a little bit surprised they went away from the quarterback, Bellinger, who on that first drive had a couple impressive runs. They completely went away from him. But I think they're going to need some screen passes. They're going to need some slants. They're going to have to move the ball. And I'm not going to say they have to score on the first, but I think they have to prove they can move the ball on the first drive. Because if they go 3 and out or they are not successful and Beaver gets that ball and rushes down and scores, and it's a 4-score game, I think Avonworth's done. Because it's going to be much more the same. I think Avonworth has to be able to pass the ball, move the ball. They have to prove against this Beaver squad that they can move the ball. And is Beaver still going to be as fired up coming in to the second half as the first? Don't forget, that momentum and that fired up, that's hard to sustain for 4 quarters.
Let's go down to the sideline. Tank Latham, he had the opportunity to speak to Coach John Core as they were coming out at halftime.
Yeah, guys, I talked to Coach, and I asked him basically, what you talk to your guys at the halftime? He said, basically, look inside yourselves, gentlemen, and how do you want to be remembered? Win each play. Build off each other. Don't worry about the whole thing. Just take care of one play at a time. And he said, we really thought they were going to pass the ball on us, and they basically just ran the ball down our throats, and they're going to start filling the box a little bit more this time.
All right, very good. Kickoff is away, and it bounces at about the 13-yard line, picked up and out to the 20, 25. Nice run back. He may go 23 out to the 50, crossing midfield, and finally tackled all the way inside Beaver territory to about the 43-yard line. That return, a beautiful one. Luca Neal brought it back a good 45 yards on that return.
3 of their 4 kickoff returns have been really good to near midfield. This one past midfield. We have someone down from Beaver. We don't know who on the far sideline, but oh boy, Holding's going to bring this back some. Boy, you talk about a break for Beaver. That's going to take it. It happened probably at the 45 of Avonworth. It knocks it back to the 35. So instead of getting the ball at Beaver's 45, they're getting it their own 35. That's a 20-yard difference, Robert.
Wow. That's
another mistake by Avonworth. That, in my opinion, is their third big mistake on a penalty that has cost them. That doesn't bode well for them here.
Not at all. First down now from their own 35-yard line. Those penalties that you talked about, looks as though there's going to be a timeout here.
Beaver called the timeout. I'm not sure why.
That's an interesting one about why they would call timeout so soon. But when you look at, you're talking about the mistakes that they made, a couple of key penalties like that one that extended a drive for Beaver. In fact, a couple of them that extended a drive for Beaver, and then one that backed things up for themselves so that they just weren't able to keep their own drive alive. Having to go first and 15, second and 15. Just playing from behind the sticks a lot.
It's tough
for Avonworth tonight.
I'm real curious about this. Can we maybe ask Tank what he thinks about why there's this timeout right now? I mean, very curious that you burn a timeout, even though you're up 3. Can we throw it down to Tank?
Well, we can't. Tank, any insights as to why Beaver may have called timeout at this stage of the game? I don't think he has the insights we're looking for.
Come on, Tank.
Here we go. Bellinger, shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers going both ways. Looks back over to the sideline. The injured Beaver Bobcat on the kickoff was Micah Poopy. And he was able to get off to the sideline under his own power. Dive play up the middle from the 35 to the 39-yard line. Pick up a 4.
I mean, my estimation is maybe Court Rouse decided to gather his defense up and say, look, man, you cannot let these guys back in the game and get them fired up maybe. Maybe they weren't as fired up as they should be coming out of the half.
Second down and 6. And good word for Beaver. Poopy is back in the game. Number 7, he's their outside linebacker, the 6'3", 180-pound junior. Back to Bellinger. He's looking for some room over that same side. Poopy in on the tackle.
Yeah. And see, we see this in the pros. We see it in college. We see it in high school. We see it all the time. Maybe not as much in high school. A team has a really good first half against another really good team that struggled, and you come out and maybe you think you're coasting a little bit. Maybe you're not as fired up. You don't want to let the other team back in the game. And I think that it's hard to keep that high momentum for 4 quarters.
One of the things that the defensive line does extremely well for Beaver is hog up blocks because the linebackers for Beaver across the 3, they are 1, 2, and 4 in leading the team in tackles. Bellinger back to pass deep over the corner and unable to complete that pass at the 50-yard line, overthrew Luca Neal, and in coverage on that one was Junior Marino.
And you know what? I'm looking down there. He basically was going to one guy and one guy only, and the guy on the left side was open by 10 yards. You got to look at progressions, and that's something they must not be good at. You got to look to see who's open and then make your decision. He was going one way. Beaver's defense knew it and stopped him.
So now it's 4th down, and the Antelopes are in punt formation. Mason Metz is deep with the kick. It is away. It is taken on a line drive at the 25-yard line, up over the 30-35, hit and taken down at the 36. Brady Mayo on the return.
You know, Brady is the kind of kid that, I know he loves basketball, and that he's told me that's his number one sport. I've said this before about him. Baseball might be his best sport, but he loves basketball. But football is where his career could take him. He still has time to decide and change his mind, but boy, I tell you, he's going to make somebody happy no matter what he does. He's a good athlete.
So Beaver now, 2 wide receivers to the near side, tight ends, 2 of them, one on either side of the formation. And Travis Clear is in the shotgun with Dre Hall to his right hip. Mayo and Jackson to the near side. Back to pass, play action. Go route to Mayo. Mayo's open, and great defensive play. Yep. Is there a penalty? There is. They're going to call the defender on blocking for the pass. It isn't as though he really ran into him hard, but it was enough, and he wasn't looking back for the ball.
If we do get a replay of this, watch, you're going to see when the defender just keeps running and running and running and running, we maybe if the defender just keeps running and does not give the man an opportunity, he doesn't give him an opportunity. I mean, it was tough on the camera, but hey, you got to give the guy a chance. You have to. If you don't, trouble.
Yeah, so 15-yard penalty. Remember, that's the way it works in high school. It's not a spot foul. So in some respects, getting a penalty is better than giving up a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. So you just put your arms up and keep running, and they teach you that, figuring, hey, okay, don't give up a touchdown, because he was beat. The ball was underthrown a little bit.
Beaver now has it inside Avonworth territory for what is the 5th time tonight.
I love the fact that they went for it right away. They wanted to put the dagger in right away.
Clear, shotgun. Fakes the handoff, play action over to Mayo. Mayo makes a man miss, sprints out over the 45, close to the 42-yard line. He was supposed to be tackled around the 45, but broke a couple of tackles and got it 3 more yards.
And I go back to what Tank said earlier. I mean, you think about this. Beaver just wants it more. They're breaking. That's got to be, a dozen times we've seen kids break tackles on plays they should have been tackled more, and on the other side, not so much.
Shotgun. Tight ends on the other side. Penalty flag coming out. It looks as though Avonworth defense, they jumped automatic first down on that penalty.
Again, so far through 2 quarters and 3 minutes, this has been all Beaver, and it's been only maybe three plays on special teams that they've given up yards. Everything else has gone their way.
20 yards in penalties in this drive. Same formation. Back to pass, looking. Has Amari Jackson deep down the corner. Touchdown, Jackson.
It was even underthrown a little bit. He hesitated. Jackson hesitated. And then Jackson's last 5 yards to get separation to catch the ball. He made it look easy. If we catch this, he just separated from the DB, and you can't cover a guy that skilled.
No, there's no way. All respect to Cooper Sharding, who's out there, 5'10", 180 junior. You're just not going to be able to cover one-on-one Amari Jackson, that's 6'1", leads the team in scoring, in touchdowns, and is ready to go play over at Villanova when he graduates.
I missed how many yards, but I think it was 40?
That was
40, 42, something like that.
I believe that it was.
I tell you what.
40 from the 42.
I mean, Clear stayed in the pocket too. He didn't bounce around.
No, at first I thought he was going to run. I thought it was a run play.
And think about that. That pocket never collapsed. He stuck in there. Jackson at about the 15. They weren't sure he was going to throw it to him, and then he bursts through. The ball's in the air, and he separates, catches it about the 7-yard line, and just walks into the end zone. 27-0. That could be the dagger right there. I don't think Avonworth's going to get the ball back enough times to score 4 touchdowns.
No, if you were one that was listening to it either on the radio or on the stream, Travis Clear had so much time, he may still be in the pocket if he wanted to be. Kickoff to the 23, and then swarmed under at the 23. No gain on that one.
Somebody from Beaver is listening to us because they said, quit kicking the ball up high and letting them get 20, 30 yards on a run back. We're not tackling good enough. And a lot of that, and again, I talked to Coach Rouse. He's one of the guys that will give younger kids chances on special teams. You got to get kids involved or they don't stay with the program.
Of course.
They're not getting a job done. Let's squib kick it and make them prove they can beat us.
Yeah, one of the up guys got it, was able to pick up maybe a yard on the play. So now Avonworth, 1st and 10 at the 24, trailing 27-0. 4 wide receivers. And now Bellinger in a position where he has not been in much at all this season, needing to pass the ball. Wide receiver screen, and a great pickup of about 14 yards on that play, maybe 15. A great pass and catch by Luca Neal in the wide receiver screen.
And if you're an Avonworth fan, you're saying, where's that been? And that was perfect. There was a block by the other guy, the other wide receiver, that gave him a lot of room. 1st down play. That's their nicest. I think that is their best play and their longest gain of the day.
It has been, yes. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 3 defenders to the near side. You got to wonder if they're going to run the same play this direction this time.
We'll see.
Bellinger running back to his hip, hands it off up the middle, and great penetration by Beaver, holding him to a pickup of about 2.
I know one thing they got to stop doing. They do the whole offense stands up and looks over at the sideline and waits and waits and waits and waits. I mean, that kills valuable time. If it's 5 or 6 seconds on every play, that could be a couple of minutes a game. You're down. You need to get the play and go.
And I realize that this style of offense is so much about what they do is they come out, they read the defense. What kind of defense they're in? Okay, we're going to run this play based upon this defense that they're showing us. And Bellinger throws it, quick hit to the 45-yard line. He stays on his feet, pushing, plowing forward, and able to get a nice pickup. 1st down yardage to the 49.
Well, see, now if you move the ball and you score, you got the option of your onside kick later on down the line. Pass plays are going to, your more 1st downs will stop the clock.
There's a flag on the play.
We'll see. But, I mean, I just think that I know you're used to your offense running a certain way, but you've got to be, here's the play, let's go. We're going to pass the ball. Here's our options. That's the only way we're going to win this game. They're not going to win the game running the ball. It's a 1st down.
Wow, unnecessary roughness against Avonworth, so it's a dead ball foul.
Yep.
They gave him the 1st down, and now they're backing them up 15 yards. The penalty against Harrison McAfee.
That's way
the
too many.
5'8", 215-pound sophomore who plays right guard.
Is it possible that here's Avonworth not used to being handled like this? All of a sudden, kids are losing their emotions, and a lot of penalties for this team.
Well, they've lost 2 games against Aliquippa and Thomas Jefferson, 46-20 and 44-7, absolutely. But they've played some games that I think have been closer than they wanted them to be, especially North Catholic last week, where they won by 20, 48-28, but it wasn't as big as some of their victories have been. Wide receiver screen, Beaver sniffed this one out. No gain, maybe a yard on this one, and there's a penalty flag on the far side of the field.
I don't know what that is.
The wide receiver and Amari Jackson out there.
This game extremely physical. Beaver, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys near the tackler. Gang tackling. Everybody in pursuit. Ball pursuit. We talk about it a lot of times. We talk about pursuit to the ball.
So Amari Jackson and Billy Onishko were out there, and there's a penalty flag in the complete opposite direction of the play. The play was on the near side of the field. The penalty is on the far side. Whatever happened over there, none of it was relevant to the play. And Amari Jackson is now trying to talk to the official, and it's hard to tell personal foul penalty against Beaver this time.
That's Jackson. He probably, you get caught now and again. So it's not smart. But again, pursuit to the ball. Beaver the better tackling team. Beaver the better team in every facet of the game. And you can tell Court Rouse not happy right now with that. You don't want to start making mistakes like this a week before the playoffs and a game against a really good team. You want to finish this team. You don't want doubt creeping into your mind by mistakes and letting this team. Don't give this team any hope.
Yeah, so far all of the mistakes, if you will, penalty-wise, have really been against Avonworth tonight. That was the first big call against Beaver. Bellinger back to pass, looking at men down the field, has a man and just overthrows his wide receiver Cooper Sharding on the left side, unable to make the connection there, and it looks like Alex Mostoris was in coverage for Beaver.
Well, a couple of things. The wind has died down, number one. Number two, that was a really good spiral. It was just overthrown. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised they haven't thrown the ball earlier, maybe in the second quarter, because he's got an arm, and they've moved the ball a little bit throwing it. We'll see if it's enough to bring them back in this game, but, boy, they're eating the time up.
2nd and 10 from midfield. Ball on the near hash mark. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the wide side, 1 to the near side. Running back next to him. On his right hip, Bryce Metz. Wide receiver screen again. He has some room and stumbles and trips and falls at the 39-yard line, not before he gets a first down.
This is the best they've played on offense.
If he doesn't trip over,
he gets
I'm
down
not sure if it was the turf he tripped over because I didn't see a defensive player.
I think it's momentum carried. I mean, he didn't get hit. I mean, if he doesn't get hit, fall, I mean, he's to the 30 maybe. It's a really good play. That's interesting because he catches the ball as he's running back toward the line and finds that seam in the defense.
Man coverage over here on the near side. Bellinger back, looking to his right. Can't find anybody, scrambling. Looking again, trying to point to his receiver, trying to find somewhere to go. Finally chased and rushed out of bounds. And then penalty flags are coming because of a late hit. He was clearly running out of bounds.
He was out of bounds.
And then he was hit by a Beaver defender.
Yeah.
And flags came in from everywhere, and now Beaver giving them 15 more yards.
That's an obvious call. I mean, he was out of bounds when he got wrapped up and taken down out of bounds. So that is a definite late hit. And a good call by the officials. 3 officials threw it. You're fired up if you're Beaver, but this play by Avonworth with their pass game, keeping one of the receivers standing on the line of scrimmage, he's an option, and sending 3 deep, and Beaver in single coverage, and so far they've been able to move the ball effectively. This is an interesting twist.
Sessi called on a roughing penalty. Inside linebacker for Beaver, number 1 when it comes to tackles. He's just been a beast for Beaver all season long, but just a little too excited as he was chasing Bellinger out of bounds.
Yep.
Amari Jackson giving him a bit of an earful about keeping your composure here, and Amari Jackson was flagged just moments earlier. Bellinger scrambling, quarterback draw, and then a big collision by 2 Beaver Bobcats actually into each other. And Bellinger
someone's hurt,
sunk down between them, and then that was Sessi hitting one of his defenders.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him. They're going to walk him off on his own power. Just got chucked up a little bit.
Yeah, he got hit pretty hard. He's wearing one of those protective helmets for concerns regarding concussions. I believe that is number 9 for Beaver. Alexander Korsinski. And he's able to walk off.
Tank texting, he thinks he got hit in the head.
And he's being looked at. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in.
And he has one of those special helmets too.
Bellinger back and a timeout. This one Beaver will take, and we'll take a timeout with them. Just about 6 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. Beaver up 27-0 on Beaver County Radio.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
Let's go to Tank Latham and the eXp Realty Sideline Report. Tank, what did you see on that last play that brought the defender for Beaver off the field, Alexander Korsinski?
The Avonworth player was kind of going down, and the two Beaver players collided above the Avonworth player, and number 9 taking the worst of that. He looks like he's walking around pretty good down here, though.
Yeah, he has his helmet in his hand, and he's starting to pace a little bit. And hopefully he'll be back in the game in no time at all. Bellinger has it, hands it off over the right side, and immediately hit about a yard beyond the line of scrimmage and taken down by about 3 Beaver defenders. They all get up. You see how they got up real fast, and they're all holding their hands up real nice and high, like, I give up, I give up. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't run the ball against Beaver much all game long, and not much there.
3rd and 5. This is a really, really important down for Avonworth. They have to keep this drive alive. They're clearly in 2-down territory. They need some positive yards here to show that they're able to get this conversion. 3rd down, wide receiver, threw it, and in and out of the hands of his receiver, Luca Neal. Wasn't able to bring that down, and now a 4th and 5.
I mean, I know Coach John Kyer wants to mix things up, but you're to the point in the game where you're past the halfway point of the 3rd quarter. You're down 4 scores. You just keep the ball in the air. That's the only way they've moved the ball. You got to keep doing it.
And it looks as though they're going to have to here. 4th down, 5 to go. As they get back up, look to the sideline for a play set. There's one-on-one coverage on the top side of this. Ball's near the far hash mark. Back to pass, looking to his left, fakes it over the middle, incomplete. In and out of the hands of his receiver, not able to make the connection, and now the ball is turned over on downs, and still Avonworth looking for a legitimate drive opportunity. And with 5:32 to go in the 3rd quarter, you got to wonder, was the ball game on that play?
Oh, I think it was. And they've had the ball 6 times, really 5 times, punt, and turnover on downs. I mean, they have not. This is the only drive that they've really done well, and this is the deepest Beaver started in their own territory at the 17. So if they hold the ball a long time, Avonworth, they've got no shot as it is, I think. But here's a situation where Beaver could just eat the clock into the 4th quarter and just put this game away.
This is the lowest scoring output for Avonworth. Little wide receiver screen pass out to the near side, and a pass into completion and a run for a 1st down gain by Brady Mayo. How about this one? For Avonworth, they've not only scored 7 points in a game or less since Thomas Jefferson when they lost 44-7.
Yeah, and that's a team up in classification.
Since then, the lowest scoring output was a 21-point victory, 21-14 victory over Central Valley. Everything else, they've put up north of 40.
They're a power running team, but not against Beaver tonight.
Beaver, twin wide receivers, hand off to Quaylen Kane, dive up the middle, pickup of about 4 yards on the play. On the flip side, when you look at Beaver and the defense, their defense has been remarkable. They pitched a shutout to McGuffey, and McGuffey, they've had a difficult season, but they did the same thing to Deer Lakes. Deer Lakes is 7-2 overall, 4-1 in their conference, and they beat them 42-0.
And that's why I say that you're going to see 3 teams in this conference highly seeded.
Back to pass, caught it. Amari Jackson looking for the 1st down marker. He gets it taken out of bounds right around the 39-yard line.
The benefit of doing this for a long time is that you see over the years which conferences are good and which conferences aren't. When you see powerful conferences and beating very good teams from another conference, that basically tells you that that conference is going to get higher seeds And that's the way the WPL usually does things. So that's why I say the New Brightons, the Hopewells, these teams have shots if they win tonight.
Inside handoff, Hall looking for some room, not going to get it, tackled for a loss of about 1 on that play. Great defensive stop. Bryce Metz leading the charge for Avonworth.
I mean, if you're a 2 seed or you're a 4 seed or you're a 5 seed or a 6 seed, you're still going to have to win your games. But it's getting into the playoffs, and teams from Beaver County have a pedigree of being 3rd and 4th teams from a good conference and winning first-round games. That's why I think we'll see teams get in that maybe some people don't think. There'll be a few teams disappointed, I'm sure, but we're going to get a lot more than the last few years.
Back to pass, looking for some room, scrambling. He's going to run, and he's going to get chased out of bounds right around the 42-yard line. So a pickup of about 4 after all of that. And it'll set up a 3rd down and 8 for Beaver. Beaver scoring offense, 2nd in all of 3A.
Yeah.
They've been remarkable. 43 points per game. And their schedule, it's not a slouch schedule.
No, it's not. Avonworth, Central Valley, North Catholic. No, not North Catholic. I'm sorry. Avonworth, North.
They've played Westinghouse.
Right.
Beat Westinghouse 28-26. Back to pass. Clear. Looking, finds a man. How about that? Mayo steals it from the defender.
Yep.
Achilles Einold on the near side looked as though he was going for a pick, and Brady Mayo just came back and stole it back from him.
Nice play. Mayo, nice athlete. That's a penalty on Beaver, so it's going to come back. But go ahead with the schedule.
Yeah, when you look at Beaver's schedule, they were victorious against Westinghouse in the Week 0 game, 28-26. Then beat Blackhawk 56-28. Fell to Imani Christian, who's undefeated. But they played them 42-28. It wasn't as though they were handily beaten.
No.
Roll over Hopewell 49-17. Lost in that close one we covered against Central Valley 51-37, and then have been on a roll since with that McGuffey one, the Deer Lakes, North Catholic 48-10, and then Quaker Valley last week 51-19.
I think the Deer Lakes and the North Catholic games were very impressive, coming off that close to losing to Central Valley.
Travis Clear, back to pass, looking. How about this great screen pass that's set up? Has it over the 40, 45, close to the 46-yard line. Really nice pickup.
Very impressive play. Let's go back to that schedule. When they have 2 of your star players hurt in the same game against Central Valley, and then outplay them most of the rest of the game, even though they lost, they could have went the other way with that.
This is huge. It's a 4th down, and they're going to go for it. 4th and 3 on their own 46.
They might be trying to draw them off sides.
The play clock is at 17 seconds. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go until the end of the quarter.
They probably figure they might pooch it here. I think they might.
He's asking them to wait. He's getting the sign to wait, it seems, from Rouse.
Yeah, they're going to take a penalty here. Oh, they didn't call a timeout, did they? No.
Which is really odd. If you're going to just punt anyway.
Well, you know why? Take time off the clock.
You could have sent out your punt team and had them snap the ball on the punt with 2 seconds left.
You could have done that if you wanted to.
I'm surprised that they didn't try to, get him to go up there and fake a snap call and get Imani to get Avonworth to jump.
But this is a situation where you don't want to go for it, miss it, and give them hope. I mean, even though it's time's running out on Avonworth, time to punt the ball.
Amari Jackson set the punt, and Cooper Sharding to receive. Deep punt, bounces at about the 32-yard line, picked up and run out to around the 38, knocked out of bounds. So a nice return by Sharding on that one, not a bad punt by Amari Jackson.
Nice tackle by number 12, who is Alex Mastoris, I believe, made that tackle. First punt for Beaver. And Avonworth gets it back again. And, again, we've seen things happen, but in a game like this, they're going to have to score quick. They're going to have to score 4 times. Then, again, they may not have the ball enough, but they're going to have to – they can't take a lot of time off the clock to score.
1:49 to go in the third quarter. 27-0. Beaver all over Avonworth tonight. That punt by Beaver, the very first of the game, the first time they didn't have a possession where they scored points. Inside handoff to the tailback over the right side, looking for some room. Swarmed under, still was able to pick up about 4 yards on the play, though.
And I know a lot of people are going to wonder, tomorrow they announced the playoff pairings. I believe it's 10 a.m. They used to always do Monday nights and get a big shindig up there in Green Tree, but now, as we got a Beaver player down, now they announce it early. And you know what? I really think if Beaver wins this game convincingly, I think at the absolute least they're the number 2 seed. I don't think they'll get the 1 because they lost to Amani, and Amani being undefeated. So it'll likely be Beaver 2, and they'll keep those 2 on the opposite side of the bracket.
Here's what's being reported in the press at this point, which is a bit confusing to me.
Okay.
Is that Beaver can't finish first. And not when they win the conference, they win the conference.
Right.
That's not the issue. But it's about seeding out of the Western Hills. So they can't appear to be the number 1 team out of the Western Hills. Why? It's something to do with these tiebreaker points. Avonworth has 47, Central Valley has 41, and Beaver just has 40. So it's possible that Avonworth won't be the number 1 coming out, because if they lose by 6 points or more, they will not be. Central Valley will then be the number 1 team coming out of the Western Hills, and then potentially Beaver and then Avonworth.
You may have a 4-loss Central Valley team higher seeded than a 2-loss Beaver team.
Yes.
Or a 3-loss Avonworth team. That doesn't make any sense to me. That system doesn't make sense to me.
No, it does not make any sense to me either.
Doesn't. I mean, if you're Beaver, you got to complain, in my opinion. But that's just me.
But what they argue is, at the WPIAL, is that what matters is conference victories. And,
True.
And conference matchups and how they play head-to-head. Bellinger, oh my goodness, he is wide open. Nobody even close on that one. Touchdown pass. It was a pump fake on a stop-and-go route, and he hit him. There was nobody covering that wide receiver for a good 15, 20 yards. The wide receiver is Billy Onishku. That was a great pump fake by Bellinger. The cornerback bit on it hard, and Onishku just ran a go route afterwards, and he was wide open, and it was almost as though nobody even tried after they realized he was that open.
He's got a good arm.
He does.
And he was accurate on that. I know he's been inaccurate a few other times, but I was surprised they didn't go to the pass more often in the second quarter, when they could have maybe put some points on the board and not down as much.
The kick up, and the kick is good. 27-7 with 1:03 to play in the third quarter. Beaver on top of Avonworth on Beaver County Radio.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
That was absolutely a beautiful fake by Bellinger.
Oh, it was.
He sold the entire defense that he was going to try to hit a quick hitch or a slant route. And then that route that was run by Billy Onishku, he sold it so well. And then when he went for the go, he was gone. Kick is away. It is a high kick. It's going to one of the up men, taken at the 24-yard line, up on the hash marks, and then taken down at the 30. So Beaver will have it 1st and 10 from the 30.
Now,
Tank Latham with the EXP Realty Sideline Report. And Tank, what did you see?
Oh, yeah, that was a beautiful shoulder fake by the quarterback there. And like I said, I think number 21 for Beaver bit on it pretty hard, and it was completely wide open, and one of the easiest scores by far tonight.
Philip Marino.
Yeah, Philip Marino playing free safety. Well, they've been running a lot of 3 and 4 wide sets, so the free safety may be coming up to cover one of the wide outs, and that may have been exactly what happened. Hey, great news. Number 9, Alexander Korsinski for Beaver, who was out with a concern of a hit to his head. He is back in the game playing tight end.
Yep.
Players in motion. Quaylen Kane has it and had one man to beat, and he grabbed him at his ankles and brought him down after an 11-yard
I see
gain.
heavy run here. I see them going away from that pass. Heavy run. I see a lot of Quaylen Kane, a lot of Dre Hall, and maybe a few Amari or Brady Mayo coming around on the end of rounds. I just see them eating clock and not giving them the ball back. For every incomplete pass, it stops the clock. You keep the clock going if you're Beaver. You just want to avoid injury.
You know, even from the top of the press box, Quaylen Kane looks so bigger than 6'1".
Yeah, he does.
190.
He's a big man.
Snap, hand off to Kane. Hit as he approached the line of scrimmage. One of the better defensive tackles with penetration, and then to wrap him up and bring him down in on the tackle for Avonworth on that one was number 72.
And you got to figure those measurements and stuff are taken in summertime. And that's the end of the quarter.
Noah Neese, the freshman for Avonworth, in on that tackle. So that is it for the third quarter. 27-7. Beaver up on Avonworth by 20. The fourth quarter is next on Beaver County Radio.
Your Beaver County McDonald's restaurants are proud to partner with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring all the local high school football games this season. Stop into any of your local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Visit mchire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Clearing a wide receiver screen to Brady Mayo, able to catch it and pick up about 8, maybe 9 yards on that. It was started at the 41, able to get out near midfield.
Stay in bounds, move the clock. Don't give them the opportunity to even think about coming back. You make a mistake in the passing game, and there's a run back. All of a sudden, there are 2 touchdowns down. They won't get the ball enough if you keep the ball on the ground and move the sticks and take time off the clock. Ball control. That's how you win games. And that's how they got to this point already.
Clear. And Dre Hall in the backfield with him. Full back up in front. Plows forward. Continues to keep those legs churning. And is able to get first down yardage away. They're calling it a fumble. And he's running it back to the 20, 15, 10. And finally taken out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
He's saying he was down. He's saying he was down. He's put his arms up saying, wait a second, I was down. I don't know.
There's no instant replay.
If we can even see it on there. But
can we go back far enough for those of you who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube? It's difficult to get a look. Now he's saying he's down and
wow. I mean, this
and
puts
the ball
things in
comes out. It
perspective.
looks as though it may have been a fumble because the defender for Avonworth got it, and he was standing pretty upright at the time when you see him first take possession of the ball.
We just got done saying, don't give them hope, and here they are. They're knocking on the door.
27-7. And there it is, touchdown from the Wildcat. Nico Neal takes it over the right guard and scores, making it a 27-13 ball game.
Maybe a little. I mean, you can't predict fumbles and things like that, but maybe a little bit of a letdown for Beaver in the second half. I mean, as great as they played in the first half, you'd think maybe a little bit of a letdown, but now all of a sudden you've got almost a whole fourth quarter to go. You're only up 2 scores now.
Right.
So you've given them hope, exactly what you didn't want to do. You gave them hope. And there's people leaving early. You don't leave early for a football game because a lot can happen.
Kick is up, and it is good, 27-14. Avonworth making this a ball game, 10:58 to go in regulation. Back with the kickoff in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County home inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team, results that move you.
We have ourselves a ball game. What we thought could have easily been the game when Avonworth went forward on 4th down, was unable to convert. They've had 2 quick strikes, one of them a stop-and-go route, if you will, and was able to get a touchdown off of a 50-yard touchdown pass, and now this fumble return got them all the way inside the 5. That happened in just a couple of moments' time.
How big are the 2 field goals? And how big are the 2 stops by their defense to hold Beaver to field goals?
Kick is away, taken by Quaylen Kane at the 11, out to the 20. Trying to make a couple of men miss and is able to get out to the 23, maybe the 24, and no more.
You think about that for a second. You know, Beaver could have been up 35. They were up 27, okay. But still, didn't score when they were down by the goal line. Gave Avonworth hope. You come back, it's really, really hard to be that fired up for 4 quarters. We said that. Now, Beaver came a little bit of a letdown. They've let them get back in the game. Now a big mistake. Now Beaver has to control the ball again. Forget about that.
Travis Clear, Quaylen Kane on his right hip. Twin wide receivers to the far side. Ball is on the near hash mark, set at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10. 10:52 to go in regulation. Man in motion, hand off to Kane. And up the middle, and is able to get out beyond the 30-yard line. Big pickup of about 6 yards on that play.
Again, we'll say it like we did before. Hold on to the ball. Ball control, eat the clock. Even if you don't score, eat the clock. And don't snap it until you have to. Kill the clock.
Yeah,
don't
there's 22 seconds on the play clock. No reason to rush this whatsoever if you're a Beaver.
Exactly. Don't give them the opportunity. Don't give them the ball. Time is against them.
Twin wide receivers to the far side. Man in motion, similar formation to last play. Hands off to Kane one more time, right up the middle. Trying to make some men miss, able to get first down yardage out to the 35-yard line. Move the sticks, clock temporarily stops until they reset them.
That's what you want. Move the sticks. You know, Avonworth was played better in the second half. Take away the mistake by Beaver. But you've given them some hope.
Beaver in the first half ran a little bit of Wildcat for a while. They've not run the Wildcat since then.
Right, they haven't at all.
So Clear now getting the call in from the sideline, yelling it out to his receivers. Twins to the far side. Handoff to Quaylen Kane over that left side. Gets through the first level and out to the 40-yard line before finally taken down by a trio of defenders for Avonworth.
I think part of the not going to the Wildcat right now, Robert, is that do you really want Jackson and Mayo in the Wildcat in a game that you have control of, possibly to get hurt and get hit that much more? I really think unless you really need them, you got to start ramping things down with those guys because you want fresh bodies. Although Kane has taken the brunt of this, you're going to have to depend on him. Hall's kind of been limited here in the last couple of drives as well.
Yeah, Hall with a turnover in the last drive. Kane has it, makes a 2-man miss, and finally taken down by the 3rd, but not before he's able to get to the first down marker. He's now out to the 45, fresh set of downs.
He's kind of that power speed back. I want to say he reminds me, it's hard for me to see who he reminds me of in his running style because he runs head on forward and he does have breaking speed, but he's able to break tackles. So not quite Earl Campbell, but
he's come off the field after those rushes. He needs to get himself a little bit of a break. Dre Hall back in the backfield. Dre Hall has it, trying to make a couple of men miss, but is not able to get out of their grasp, and he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
I think Hall, what was on his mind there? Hold on to the ball.
That's right.
And he wrapped it up, baby, and he just, it was wrapping it up. Hold on.
And when you go to Drake Hall, granted, it is a little bit of a he's not Quaylen Kane. Quaylen Kane's averaging 13 yards a carry.
Hall's pretty good.
Hall is still averaging 8 yards a carry. You have a great back that's in there when Quaylen Kane isn't able to get the reps. Wide receiver screen. Mayo has it, trying to make a couple of people get out of the way, but unable to do so. And Avonworth, big stop, maybe a half a yard, maybe one at most on that one. I think we're going to call it 3rd and 9.
Well, here's a situation where even if you don't make the first down, you're going to punt, and they're going to have to go a long way, and they're going to be at 6 and change, and they still have to score twice. So a whole lot's going to have to happen here for Avonworth to really jump back in this game. Are they capable? Yes.
So do you run the ball and take off an extra 40
That's a good
seconds?
question.
Or do you throw the ball to try to get the first down? No, they run the ball. No, they throw the ball. That was a great play-action pass to Quaylen Kane, and they tried to hit Mayo on the near side, and he was overthrown by Travis Clear. No penalty flags on the play. Now 4th and 9 from their own 46. They got to punt it away.
Yeah, not exactly Beaver's best offensive series, although they had a few first downs. So Avonworth still has life.
Avonworth has shown themselves to where they've been able to stop now Beaver on 2 successive possessions, where Beaver seems to really have struggled to do anything with the ball. The kick is away. It is going to bounce at around the 28, takes a Beaver bounce, but ultimately an Avonworth bounce.
Yeah, they're lucky
all
on
the
that
way
one.
in and out of the end zone, so Avonworth gets it 1st and 10. When we come back, 6:48, 27-14, Beaver leads Avonworth on Beaver County Radio.
You know, I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
Avonworth has it 1st and 10 from their own 20. Ball right in the middle of the field. Bellinger back to pass, has a man open, and in and out of the hands of his receiver. Great coverage by Marino on that one, and just not able to bring it in. Cooper Sharding was the target at about midfield.
Yeah, they're going to have to try things like that. There's no doubt, because they can't afford a ton of time. They're going to have to score, play great defense again, and score again to win this game. It can happen. There's 6:41 remaining, but they're going to need some big plays. They can't afford long drives.
Now, with 4 wide receivers, Beaver is still playing their base defense. It isn't as though they have extra defensive backs in there. What a great play. Brennan Kostiak, the freshman, was able to sack Bellinger for a loss as he was scrambling out the left side. Loss of 2 on the play.
That's what you want if you're Beaver's defense. Take hope away, 3rd and 12.
Clock is still running. We're coming up on 6:15 in the 4th quarter. This is a huge play here. You got to believe that they're going to go for it if they don't get the conversion.
You have to.
4 wide receivers. Bellinger rolling to his right. Has a trio of receivers looking for someplace to go, and sacked. My goodness, he did it again. The freshman, Brennan Kostiak. Tank said he has a motor. Tank, what did the coach say to you about Kostiak as a freshman?
Yeah, I was talking to one of the coaches down here who used Graham, and said that player has a motor that never stops. He said he's going to be something special for sure.
He's something special right now for Beaver. Who knows what he's going to be like when he becomes an upperclassman.
They're going to punt.
They're going to have to. He sacked them for a huge loss. It's 4th and 19. The punt is away. It is a short punt. And it will fall out of bounds clearly in Avonworth territory. Where do they ultimately spot it? They'll spot it at the 39. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of Avonworth for Beaver. Back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearms store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
Brady Mayo's in the Wildcat, hands it off, fumble! Brady Mayo's able to fall back on it. Loss of 2 on the play, but most importantly, they were able to maintain possession. And once again, an exchange with his running back, Dre Hall, who fumbled 2 possessions ago, and they were able to bring it all the way back into the 5-yard line of Beaver, and that exchange did not go well.
I mean, I know you want to do different things, but man, Mayo's not the quarterback.
Mayo stays in at quarterback. He throws it. He's looking for Amari Jackson. Jackson caught it at the 15-yard line. He went up and high-pointed that, hand straight up in the air, right over the defensive back, Cooper Sharding, and was able to catch that at the 15.
Heck of a nice throw by Mayo, number 1. And number 2, that's why Jackson's going to play at the next level. Heck of a nice catch there. And Jackson now is in Wildcat.
Everybody's in tight. 3 running backs in front of him to the right. They stay there. He follows them inside the 10, down close to the 5.
Hey, well, that's a way to take the hope away from Avonworth. Quick strike, change up the offense a little bit. They did it in the first half. They did the Wildcat. They changed things up. They diversified the offense, and here they go, just saying to some, hey, we're going to run it and score.
Or Amari Jackson, he's following his running backs, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown. They made it look easy on that drive. Great pass from Mayo to Amari Jackson, and then 2 run plays by Amari Jackson following his running backs on the right side, and he was able to run in, and he was absolutely untouched. I think he stopped really trying it around the 2. So now it's 33-14. Beaver, 3:54 to go. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 34-14. They now have, once again, a 20-point lead. 3:54 to go in the fourth quarter. Back with more on Beaver County Radio.
Getting into the lineup and making the team is easy at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Training camp is starting, and you are invited. This is Coach Andy Dangle, and I'm looking for new teammates. Membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union today. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
You might get outvoted,
3:54, 34-14. Beaver just showing themselves here, up by 20 over Avonworth. And what a dominating performance, aside from 2 plays.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about this.
Yeah.
There were 2 plays. There was the stop-and-go route, the hitch-and-go, that they were able to complete for a touchdown. And then that fumble recovery, they were able to take all the way down into the 5 of Beaver. Outside of that, there hasn't been an Avonworth offense.
But I think the story of the game could be that me and Tank will outvote you.
What are you talking about? You just said you were going to vote Amari Jackson.
I think that after talking to Tank.
What are you talking to Tank? You weren't talking to Tank.
After I talked to my consigliere.
Oh, my goodness. Muff kickoff return and then swarmed under. He was able to fall on it and keep possession. That was close.
Tank Latham tells me otherwise, and I think we're going to have a rediscussion.
Jackson Kroll was the up man who took the kickoff return, but he wasn't able to take it cleanly. He then fell on it to maintain possession for Avonworth with 3:50 to go in the fourth quarter, down by 20. So Bellinger, how about this? Bellinger has looked good as they've asked him to throw the football.
And he's run the ball pretty good. Right now, he's my pick for their side for CCBC Player of the Game.
I agree with you on that one, 100%. 3 wide receivers near side. Setting up a wide receiver screen. No slant pattern. Not taking that one either. Here comes the rush. He has no place to go. The chase is coming and finally throwing it out of bounds to avoid the big sack that would have been for almost 20 yards.
Well, at this point in the game, you're going to have to throw to somebody who's covered one-on-one and hope they make the play. You have to. You run around back there, you're making it worse for yourself. If someone's covered, they're not going to get that much more open once they stop. So throw it to somebody, hope they make a play. You're going to have to because you're 3 scores down.
Beaver gives a rest to a couple of defensive players. And now Bellinger setting up a 2nd and 10. Back to pass, rolling to his right, looking for somebody. Has a man right at the sideline at the 35-yard line. Great pass and catch. Billy Onishku with the reception. And most importantly, getting out of bounds after a pickup of about 8 yards.
The clock is against them. They just do not have the time. They have played much better in the second half. I think if they'd have played this way in the first half and it would have been much more even, we'd really be into a tight game right now. But Beaver just dominated them in the first half.
Pistol formation for Avonworth. And they have, on Beaver's side, 2 guys at defensive end that they are just ready to go in pass rush mode. And once again, 47, Brennan Kostiak. He is so pumped up. He came off that edge, just like J.T. Watt, waiting for his opportunity to jump, beat the right tackle, and got around and was able to sack Bellinger for a loss of about 2.
They knew they were going to run the ball. They have to.
Fourth down. This is it. They're looking 3 wide receivers to the far side. Ball on the near hash mark at the 33-yard line, 34-yard line. Back to pass. Pressure's coming. Just missed the tackler. Was able to scoot away, and then a fumble. And recovered by Beaver. If there's anything I want to do, I may want to change my selection for the CCBC player of the game, because Kostiak missed his sack, would not give up. That motor that keeps on running, then strips Bellinger of the ball, creates the fumble, and then the recovery by Beaver.
I would think now you're 3 touchdowns up, 2:46 to go in the game. I'd think about bringing in the second team here and bringing in some other guys and giving the Jacksons and the Quaylen Canes and the other guys some rest, I would think.
It doesn't look as though they're doing that.
Yeah.
Travis Clear is in there. So is Quaylen Kane.
Boy, I tell you.
Jackson is in at wide receiver on the near side.
I don't want to see those guys get hurt.
And Mayo is at wide receiver on the far side.
Don't want to see those guys get hurt. I don't want to see Quaylen Kane get hurt. There's a timeout. I think they're thinking about this.
A lot of confusion on the Beaver side about who's playing where.
Yeah. I think they're thinking about this, Robert. You have to almost. I mean, really, you're 3 touchdowns up. Unless you fumble the ball, 3 straight possessions. You call the dogs off, they'll call the dogs off. I know coaches don't want to do that without a mercy rule, but I really, with 2 minutes to go in a game like this, I don't want to get my stars hurt. I really don't. You got to think like that. Because even if they stop you 3 straight times and they get the ball back, they're going to have to march down and score 3 times in 2 minutes and 41. I mean, there's just not enough time.
Right.
In my opinion, I know that goes against some coaches' thinking and you want your stars in there, but we've seen how many times. One play. Well, Tyke Hayes last week. My question is, how much did he play this week? Are they going to be ready with him in full speed next week? And then you got to figure, Dalcook could probably win a couple of rounds in the playoffs without him. But you don't want that to even be thought of. That's why I think, in my opinion, they're not going to do it. They're going to keep starters in there.
Clear. I formation beside him. Quaylen Kane gets it out to the 35-yard line. Pickup of about 3, 2:40 to go. The clock continues to run on this Avonworth team that has won the last 4 matchups against Beaver in convincing fashion the last 2 years. 2 games during the regular season, 2 playoff games for Avonworth to make it to the WPIAL championship game at Acrashore. and it looks as though Beaver is getting their opportunity for a bit of payback here and win a share of the conference title, something they've not done since 2007. And the handoff, and the pile still moves. The pile still moves all the way down inside the 30-yard line. 2 yards to go on what will be third down. The clock continues to move, which is most important. We're under 2 minutes.
Yeah, and they're not calling timeout. To me, you get a first down, bring other guys in, I think. They're going to get the first down here. Mayo comes out now. And they're just eating clock right now. And Avonworth knows this game's over. They're not calling timeout.
Yeah, Beaver's out of timeouts to be able to just have a ceremonial call guys off to the side.
Right.
But
still bring guys out.
1:30. Hand off to Quaylen Kane over the left side. Runs into a couple of tacklers and is able to get to the 24-yard line. First down pickup, and the game is officially over. They can take knees from here.
I mean, situation where you take knees, exactly.
CCBC players of the game, we'll get to that coming up in a moment. How about this one? Fry Transportation Update Desk. Score, Union Scotties all over New Brighton. 30-0.
Oh, my goodness, what happened to the Lions? They had a chance. Wow, that is a surprise. That is a surprise to me.
It is. It's huge.
That's pretty much a for sure they won't make the playoffs then. Wow.
How about a game to watch right now? Fourth quarter, West Allegheny Montour. They're knotted up at 7. 50 seconds to go in this matchup, and Travis Clear is in victory formation, just waiting for the play clock to get the game clock to get under 40 seconds, so they can have one more snap and end this game.
And you know what? And you talk about that Montour game. If West Allegheny wins, solidifies a higher seed for them. Montour might not be the number 1 seed now, so maybe it'll definitely be Thomas Jefferson probably, and then you might have Montour and Aliquip on the same side of the bracket. Is what that might do now.
34-14 as the clock ticks away. They are shaking hands at midfield already. And there's still seconds left to go on the game clock, but concessions are being made. It is now time for the Electric Garage Doors post-game show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. We will check in with Tank Latham here in a moment as he sets up interviews for the coach and the CCBC players of the game.
So are we in agreement?
Avonworth, it's Bellinger.
Bellinger, the quarterback. He's number 3. We got him. I think we're all in agreement. Tank,
yes.
I think you agree with that, Bellinger?
Yes. And then Amari Jackson.
Unless you want to go with the defensive player. What do you think?
Hold on a second. Let's turn up Tank here for a moment. Tank, what are you saying to me, my man?
Can't hear Tank.
Can't hear Tank at all.
Hey, you got me now?
Yes.
Hey, I was saying I definitely still would go with the offensive line for Beaver. They took care of that game the first half, and they closed out the game.
If you had a second pick.
If I had a second pick, I would probably go towards number 47, Brennan, on that. And then on the Antelope side, I would for Luke O'Neill. He was the highlight on the special teams in the first half, and he got that strip.
Okay. There's good arguments for that.
I like Jackson. He's had 3 touchdowns. I like spreading it around. He was tremendous, as our whole offense was. I kind of like the offensive line thing, but if you want to pick one of those guys, great. But I also like the gentleman who got that fumble recovery and made that big play, too, on defense as well.
Brennan Kostiak. He was great in the second quarter.
What do you think about Kostiak?
Can we make
Yeah, that's my second guy.
All right, then we'll go with the second guy.
Let's go with Kostiak.
I got you.
And if you want to see if you can grab an offensive lineman, and we'll just talk to him anyway. We got a couple of them with 4.0s. They can definitely give a great interview. Aiden Connolly, number 56, and number 77, JT Pashuta. We'll also get the head coach of Beaver here coming up in a moment. What a remarkable performance here. There were many people who were thinking that, you know what, Avonworth's going to come in here and continue to show their dominance against this Beaver team. They had 2 losses just like Beaver, but they were the big 4A schools. Beaver, though, was not going to be denied. They performed better and better as the season went on, and they came out victorious tonight, winning a share of their first conference in 17 years.
And I think they came out fired up. And, I mean, they came out fired up. You could see it every play. Linemen, linebackers, offensive linemen. Every different players every time coming on the field. And they were so fired up for this game. And they dominated that first half. The offensive line opened up holes. Beaver scored on every possession. And then they scored the last 2 possessions in that first half with field goals. Could they play a little bit better on offense in the second half? Yeah, but it's almost impossible to play 4 great quarters because the momentum shifts and the way things change. It's tough to be that tough. And Avonworth, a good team, they came out a little bit more fired up in the second half. Mm-hmm. They played better. I think if Avonworth plays passes in the first half more and keeps the ball away from Beaver, I think this is a better game. I think their game plan was, let's just run the ball and see what we can do against this Beaver team. And when it didn't work out, they never changed. I think that's the biggest difference in the game. Because if they could have moved the ball at all in the first half, we could still be talking about this game.
Yeah, there's a struggle that coaches have between sticking with your game plan and doing what you do, realizing it's still early in the game when you're in the second quarter, and you don't want to break away from that too soon. But Bellinger showed that he's able to throw the ball a little bit, and his receivers were able to get open. A couple of really nice wide receiver screen passes. They were able to get some big yardage too. So I think Avonworth, as they're wrapping up their season now with their 3rd loss, although they really want to play for the playoffs, and that's the most important part is, you have a share of the conference title still, and now it's about getting in, and then what can you ultimately do? What can you accomplish now?
And another thing is lack of mistakes. There was only, as we watch for Tank here, there was only the 1 fumble and a couple of little mishaps on the kickoff and punt returns. Only a couple. As the other media talks to Court Rouse, Tank looking for the players of the game. I think one of them's coming over right now.
Yes, he is.
And we're going to join Tank here in a second.
Brennan Kostiak, number 47. Obviously, there are guys like Amari Jackson who scored a couple of touchdowns, really big with that big catch. But there's sometimes you got to give a tribute to a guy who's a young guy who plays defense and plays it amazingly well as a young man. And Tank is with Brennan right now.
Yeah, I'm here with Brennan, the player of the game, CCBC player of the game. Congratulations. You had a great game, all game. Tell me a little bit about that 4th quarter. That's where you really turned it on.
Thank you. I felt like we had to win. They came back. They scored twice on us. We didn't score at all. I just felt like I had to step up and just do what I did, and there we go. We won. Boom.
So I was talking to your younger coaches that you had. He said you had a motor that was unstoppable, and he said you're going to be something to watch. I mean, you were almost like watching a little mini J.J. Watt out there, or maybe even the Energizer Bunny, if you remember that from way back in the day. How do you get that?
Thank you. I just feel like I have to have a motor every time, every play, no stop. I just feel like I have to get to the ball. Even if I mess up, I have to get up and do what I do. I can't mess up. Even if I do, I have to get up and make the play. I can't let any plays down.
All right, so playoffs are next. What do you got for us?
I feel like I just have to show out. You guys haven't seen my best ball. I'm just a freshman. You will see in playoffs. Don't worry.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Just a freshman, guys.
I love it. I do, too. Granted, you look at the stats. Quaylen Kane had an absolutely remarkable performance. Tank, if you can, Amari's over there, and so's Quaylen over there at the 35-yard line. There you go. If you want to talk to one of them, definitely want to be able to hear from them too.
Yeah, let's get Quaylen. We haven't talked to him yet this year.
Yeah, give him a microphone. Let's talk to him for a moment as we're waiting for Coach to be available too. Here's Tank with Quaylen Kane. Oh, I tell you what, Quaylen Kane, how are you, Quaylen?
Good, how about you?
Congratulations, my man. What a performance tonight.
Thank you.
Talk to me about what was going on in your mind as you took the field tonight and what this game meant to you.
This game meant everything to me. I just really needed to win out here. You know what it meant to the team.
Being able to beat Avonworth, you've been here, you've suffered those 4 losses, 2 last year, 2 the year before. Was this an aspect of a payback game for you?
Absolutely, revenge game out here.
Quaylen, let's talk about how many tackles, not only you, but everybody on your team. You guys just fought for all that extra yardage. Talk about the fight your team had on every play.
I'm beyond proud of my team, what we had to do to get the win.
How about the offensive line? Opening up holes, giving you guys room. Talk about your offensive line. They did a great job.
I like how they beautifully adjusted to the line, the defensive line. got me to the end zone. I loved it.
Yes, Quaylen Kane with us tonight. Quaylen, congratulations on a big victory. Congratulations on bringing back a conference title for the first time in 17 years. And best of luck to you in the playoffs coming up next week.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, Quaylen Kane. I do appreciate that. And Tank, go ahead, and we'll get back down to Tank for a moment. Carson Bellinger with the Avonworth Antelopes is waiting for his opportunity to be able to talk to Tank and have a conversation with him. CCBC Player of the Game. Tank, go ahead. Take it away.
Guys, I'm CCBC Player of the Game for Avalon. All right, so great game. The first half you guys kind of got bottled up a little bit there. Second half I noticed you were kind of seeing the numbers, throwing to where the numbers were. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I won't lie, we got bullied up front in the first half. We struggled to run the ball, which running the ball is a staple in our offense. When we run the ball, our offense goes, and we struggled to do that and couldn't keep our defense off the field, so we hurt them a lot on the offensive side of the ball. Then in the second half, we came out, spread things out, started hitting what they were giving us and moved the ball a little bit, and then, it was just a little too late.
Yeah, good thing is this isn't the end. You guys survive for next week for sure, playoffs. I think I'm going to see a little rematch of this game down the road here. What do you think about that?
We'd love a rematch. We definitely didn't play our best football tonight on either side of the ball. So a rematch against this team would be great, and we still have a long season ahead of us. We're confident with what we have, the guys we have, and we're looking forward to getting far.
Well, thank you so much. And like I said, that fight you guys had at the end there, to keep it up, that's going to go a long way, not just in football, in my life as well.
Thank you.
Keep up.
Thank you very much. Carson Bellinger, the quarterback for Avonworth, with the CCBC Player of the Game. He's going over and shaking hands with Amari Jackson.
Yeah.
A great performance tonight. Amari Jackson, 2 touchdowns, played great out of the wide receiver. Fantastic catch all the way down to the 15-yard line to help seal the drive and to seal the game for 3 touchdowns on the night. That big catch over here at the 15-yard line. He is going to look fantastic when he plays at the next level.
No doubt.
But before he gets there, he has a postseason he's thinking about, and I know he'll be waiting to find out how the WPIAL lines up the brackets for Beaver.
And something, that's the thing. Now you're to the point where, okay, you'll probably have one more home game in the playoffs. But now he's shaking hands with the little kids, and that's something that they all look forward to, maybe some relatives, but that's important for these kids at 17 and 18 to be role models for the kids. We talk about that all the time on Coach's Corner with these kids and how proud they are when the little guys come and want to take pictures and all that. It's important, and we're looking for Tank. Is he in the month?
Yeah, Tank is waiting for his opportunity to talk to Coach because Coach is being dominated by the print media that's down
Mike
there.
White and all that.
Well, they're very important people.
Yeah, well, no doubt. And so
they're top tier. I tell you what, how about if we pause for 30 seconds, maybe a minute, we'll give Tank an opportunity to line up the Coach.
I think it's going to be quicker than you think.
And we'll come back on Beaver County Radio.
The unexpected happens. When it does, you have peace of mind that you can rely on your insurance agent. As an independent agency, S.E. Snyder in Rochester can represent you to several insurance companies, so we can get you the best coverage for the best price. We pride ourselves in customer service and honest sales, so you shouldn't feel pressured with an insurance quote. If you need a quote or have questions about the coverage you need, talk with us until you're satisfied. Call S.E. Snyder Insurance Agency in Rochester today at 724-774-3584.
How can I help my child to make positive choices?
Start with a conversation. Start making the difference.
Beaver County Parents, is your child between the ages of 10 and 14? If so, Keystone Wellness Programs is offering the Strengthening Families program in your area. This free program is designed for families to have fun together while learning ways to promote family bonding and communications. For more information about upcoming sessions near you, visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org, paid for with PA taxpayer dollars.
I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it's hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season from your friends at Fry Transportation.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Let's go down to Tank Latham with the eXp Realty Sideline Report and his interview with Coach Rouse of the Victors tonight, the Beaver Bobcats. Tank?
I'm just sneaking around Coach back here. Hopefully I don't hurt him. He was just talking about his defensive coordinator jumping on him, so I could do that too. Hey, Coach, great game tonight. Great team victory. I heard you talking to the offensive line earlier in the game and telling them to take over the game. They definitely listened to you for sure on that.
Yeah, I mean, so, going throughout the week, we just challenged, the O-line. I got with the O-line before the game and, our D-line. So, I mean, when you're playing a quality opponent like Avonworth and, the skill and the physicality they have, to me, it comes down to being physical up front and, challenge those guys. A lot of, this is like the 20th game that offensive line's played together. All first-year starters last year. They've really taken to that challenge. They've worked together. They've done all the things they have to do. I don't think they get enough credit for our success as a group, but those guys know that I'm proud of them right now, and they did a great job tonight, and that was a huge part of us getting this victory tonight.
Yeah, obviously you're going to celebrate tonight. Yeah, but are you excited for finding out you're seeing what's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, I worry about things we can control. I mean, whatever they do, they do. All I know is that we got to get our kids in here tomorrow. Get some guys cleaned up that are banged up. We get them in the pool tomorrow and get them deloaded. Then we'll start breaking through the film and start cleaning things up. And then then we just got to find out where that looks like, and then we got to get prepared to go do this again next week.
And one thing, as just an outsider looking in at your program, you guys definitely have some character on the sideline and on your team. It shines through, and it definitely comes from the coaches for sure. And thank you for being a part of that community with that.
Well, no, and again, we talk about these guys I tell them your discipline shows me how much it means to you. So how much you care shows me your discipline. So it's not about you, it's about us. It's not about you talking, it's not about you pushing. If this is important to you, you'll be disciplined in your approach to it. You'll be disciplined when things kind of get a little haywire out there. I'm proud of our kids for their approach to the game and their approach day in and day out of practice.
Thank you so much, Coach. Hopefully we get to talk to you next time.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tank. Do appreciate that. Tank Latham doing a fantastic job with the eXp Realty Sideline Reports throughout the course of the night. We have a post that's up on our social media, that West Allegheny won 13-7 over Montour.
Well, you know what? We talked about this at the end of the last game. An emotional victory over Aliquippa, which a team that dominated you for the last 2 years, and they're a traditional rival. And you get beat up against Aliquippa, and it's a letdown a little bit. And West A's a good team. This now will likely put Thomas Jefferson undefeated as the number 1 seed. Probably now with this loss, Montour is a 2. The question is, do you put Aliquippa as a 4 and keep them against TJ, or do you put them as a 3? And your semifinal matchup would be Aliquippa Montour if it gets to that point. So Montour losing is going to probably lose them the number 1 seed.
Final
it's
thoughts.
Not going to kill them.
Right. Final thoughts on this game. 34-14. Beaver, the victors and the champions. At least they share the championship for the first time since 2007. Final thoughts coming up next on Beaver County Radio.
Make your dream of a college degree a reality at Community College of Beaver County. CCBC offers 10 pathways to success, including health sciences, criminal justice, industrial technology, business, and more. Start at CCBC and finish your career or get transfer ready, all at a realistic cost. Enroll today, ccbc.edu.
Some people use a handshake as a punchline. At LGKG, it has a different meaning.
A handshake to me means integrity, trust, and loyalty.
It means that we will do what we say we're going to do.
Our handshake is our bond.
It means when we make you a promise, we're going to keep it.
At LGKG, a handshake still matters.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
Zookie's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard has the best wings and homemade sauces in Beaver County. Zookie's Sports Tavern is the perfect place to grab a bite to eat or a cold beverage before high school basketball games. Zookie's Sports Tavern has a heated and enclosed outside bar equipped with several big screen TVs and is the ideal place to watch all of your favorite sports. Don't forget to become a VIP for discounts and special offers at Zookies.com. That's Zookie's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard.
Did you know that if you have the ability to listen to the radio, you have the ability to dig a ditch? It's true. By renting the right equipment from D&G Rentals in Beaver Falls, you can turn big projects into simple ones. So if you can master your cell phone, you can probably build a new patio or pour a new sidewalk. You already have the know-how, you just don't have the right tools. And that's where D&G Rentals comes in. Visit dgrent.com. So remember, if you can change the channel, you can probably change a transmission with a little help from D&G Rentals.
The unexpected happens. When it does, you have peace of mind that you can rely on your insurance agent. As an independent agency, S.E. Snyder in Rochester can represent you to several insurance companies, so we can get you the best coverage for the best price. We pride ourselves in customer service and honest sales, so you shouldn't feel pressured with an insurance quote. If you need a quote or have questions about the coverage you need, talk with us until you're satisfied. Call S.E. Snyder Insurance Agency in Rochester today at 724-774-3584.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearm store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
Looking for a fall activity for your children? Pass and score your way into the Beaver County YMCA's Youth Soccer League. The league will teach the basic fundamentals of soccer. There will be one practice a week teaching drills and skills. This soccer league is for kids ages 5 through 12 and runs from September 10th to October 19th. Registration is already open. To register, go to beavercountyymca.org. Your Beaver County McDonald's restaurants are proud to partner with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring all the local high school football games this season. Stop into any of your local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Visit mchire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it. Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it's hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the Gridirons this season from your friends at Fry Transportation.
There's exciting news. A new pharmacy in New Brighton just opened, Forward RX. It's an independent community pharmacy that fills prescriptions at transparent cost-plus pricing on many generic medications. No insurance or discount coupons needed. Brandon Anthonopoulos will discuss your needs and how Forward RX can help you save money. The pharmacy experience you deserve is more affordable than you think. Become a Forward member today. Stop in 809 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check their prices at FWDRX.com. You're listening to 2024 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio from the McGee Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by eXp Realty, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Keystone Wellness, Pride Transportation Group LLC, Forward RX, Electric Garage Door Sales, the YMCA, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Tri-State McDonald's, I'm loving it, and Beaver County Radio.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls.
You're listening to the Electric Garage Doors postgame show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. Once again, I'm Robert Mangino, Mike Azadian, Tank Latham here. Coming up in just a few minutes, Bruce Fry and the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. We will hear in a moment. Final thoughts, Tank, we'll start with you. Your thoughts about tonight's game?
Tonight's game, I really see Beaver as a full, well-rounded team. And I said this, I remember being up here last time. It's going to be tough to beat them. If they keep clicking on all cylinders, they don't have injuries, they are a tough team to beat. But I've seen a lot of fight left in Avalon there. In
Avonworth, yes.
Avonworth, I'm sorry for that. The Lopes, how about we just say that?
Okay.
But there was a lot of fight with them, and I can see them coming back and making some good games going down in the playoffs as well.
Mike, what do you think about
you know
tonight?
what? I think that they are a great, very good running team. They're a very good team on the line. They've got two really good receivers. They're very good on all parts of defense, linemen, linebackers, cornerbacks. They've got a lot of talent. In my opinion, they can go as far as this talent takes them. They just have to, as Coach Rouse said, tighten up some things. And that's the kickoff returns and punt returns. And if they don't fumble the ball and hurt themselves, their team's going to do a lot of damage in the playoffs. And I really think that Central Valley, Avonworth, Beaver, those three have the capability of being three of the Final Four teams. That's how good this section is. I don't think the rest of 3A, other than the Monty, is really that good. It really isn't. I really think these should be three highly seeded teams.
The stars came out to shine for Beaver on offense and on defense. Clearly on offense, it's so easy to see with Quaylen Kane and Amari Jackson and Brady Moyo and what they've been able to accomplish. Yes, Dre Hall as well. The defense is what was really remarkable to me about what they were able to do. This Avonworth team comes in with just a tremendous response themselves, scoring over almost 30 points a game throughout the course of the regular season. They were able to hold them in the entire first half. A couple of big splash plays was all that they were really able to do on offense. Beaver showed themselves to be a great offensive team,